Fort Bridger was established in 1843 to service immigrant traffic by Jim Bridger and his partner Louis Vasquez. For the next century, this area known as the Bridger Valley served as a crossroads for the Oregon and California Trail, the Mormon Trail, the Pony Express route, the Transcontinental Railroad, and the Lincoln Highway. Inside the valley reside a couple of towns by the name of Mountain View and Lyman, with just 6 miles of two-lane road separating these settlements. Also dotting the map along the Bridger Valley Trail are Yeri, Robertson, Fort Bridger, and Milburn. Together, these communities form a strong co-op with lifelong friendships and bonds that span across the entire valley. But tonight, we'll have to put all that on hold.
The battle for Bridger Valley is live on MyLocalRadio.com. No matter where you reside in the valley, it's time to pick a side, Mountain View or Lyman. One of the great rivalries in Wyoming is back for another edition, only on your home for Bridger Valley Sports. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Westar Printing, Rocky Mountain Sign, Trona Valley Community Federal Credit Union, Blacks Fork Dental, Evanston Regional Hospital, The Store, Plains Tire, Wyoming Dental Specialties, The Come On In of Casper, and Auto Farm Chevrolet. With tip-off to Rivalry Friday night coming up fast, let's head to My Local Radio's broadcasting booth to join Jake Hibbard for the Sawyer's Disaster Cleanup and Construction pregame show.
Welcome into the place to be on Friday night. Mountain View, Wyoming, under the bright lights hanging from the Cedar Top Dome. It's rivalry night in the Bridger Valley. Tonight on the girls' side, we will find out who's number one in the Southwest midway through the season. On the boys' side, Mountain View could start to pull away, or Lyman could force a three-way tie at the top. Jake Hibbard joined alongside Gabe Bolander on MyLocalRadio.com. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. We'll be back with pregame coverage next.
Hi, this is Chase Sawyer with Sawyer Disaster Cleanup and Construction. In addition to our cleanup and restoration services, we also offer new construction and remodeling. We can help with a newer kitchen, bathroom, a garage, deck, or a new addition to your home. We provide accurate, itemized estimates with no hidden fees or extra charges, and we complete each job to 100% of your satisfaction. Call us today at 307-741-7000. Sawyer Disaster Cleanup and Construction. Hi, this is Chase Sawyer with Sawyer Disaster Cleanup and Construction. Our company specializes in fire damage restoration, mold inspection, remediation and testing, flood cleanup, and biohazardous cleanup services. We complete each job to 100% of your satisfaction. Safety is our highest priority, and once we've completed your job, we ensure your home or business will again be a safe place to occupy. Call me, Chase, at 307-741-7000. Sawyer Disaster Cleanup and Construction.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Whatever you need, it's likely that Bradshaw's and Lyman can help. Whether it's windows at home or new glass in your car, truck, SUV, or semi, Bradshaw's has it. Tires? Yes. All vehicles, ATVs, semis, and more. Bradshaw's offers a 24-hour towing service for everything large to small, and the Bradshaw Fitness Center is open 24/7. There's more, so always call Bradshaw's first. Whatever you need, it's likely they can help. 307-787-3450. Again, that's 307-787-3450.
We hope you're enjoying this MyLocalRadio.com exclusive broadcast of Bridger Valley Sports. We love being able to travel around the state to bring the action on the field or court back to you watching at home. Let's face it, doing all this would not be possible without all of our great sponsors. We appreciate the support the following businesses and individuals show to both Mountain View and Lyman Sports. Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness. Whatever it is you need, Bradshaw's can probably help. The Come On In of Casper. When it comes time to cheer on your Buffs or Eagles at state, the Come On In is your best bet for a great night's stay. Auto Farm Chevrolet in Evanston. General Manager Dennis Lynch invites you to come and experience a community-driven dealership. Evanston Regional Hospital. Quality health care close to home. Bridger Valley Motor. Got a check engine light blinking? Don't guess at what the problem is. Take it to Slim at Bridger Valley Motor in Lyman. And Achieve Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy. No excuses, just results. Thank you to all of our Bridger Valley sports sponsors.
Your mobility affects every aspect of your life. When you suffer from an injury that decreases your mobility, or maybe you're just noticing that you're having a harder time balancing and your flexibility isn't what it used to be, call Randy Christofferson at Achieve Sports Medicine. Randy will work with you to improve your overall health by reducing pain and improving mobility. Schedule your appointment today by calling 307-747-4627. Achieve Sports Medicine in Lyman. No excuses, just results.
Welcome into the Sawyer's Disaster Cleanup and Construction pregame show. Water damage, mold damage, fire, and more. Sawyer's is there for you. 741-7000. Final 9 seconds of the JV girls game, and then we'll get the pregame clock running to Rivalry Friday night. It's time to set the scene, brought to you by Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness. Whatever it is you need, Bradshaw's can probably help, located in Lyman. Starting with the girls, it's an old rivalry with a little bit of new blood happening. Mountain View lost to Lyman in last year's 3A West Regional Championship, and at state, Lyman took second behind Douglas, and Mountain View finished third. However, this year's teams look quite a bit different. Mountain View returns their leading scorer in last year, and Haley Stevens, and she's at point guard. And then Sadie Mitchell and Kylie Dellinger saw a fair amount of time last season. But after that, well, it gets a little thin for girls with varsity experience on the Mountain View side. As for Lyman, well, they're without McKinley Bradshaw, who held the title of best high school player in Wyoming for probably about 3 years. Basically, once Robbie Ryan of Sheridan graduated from Sheridan and went on to Arizona State, that title became McKinley's. She's now at the University of Wyoming, and that's part of what makes tonight so much fun. Although Lyman is winners of 9 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams, this marks a new chapter in the rivalry, and players for both Mountain View and Lyman have a chance to leave their stamp on a new legacy on this long-standing annual tradition. Both of these programs coming tonight after a lackluster showing in their previous game. Talking to both coaches, who we'll hear from a little bit later, neither one was happy with their mutual showings against Lander the week prior. Lyman held an early 11-3 lead over Lander last Thursday before losing 43-38. Mountain View lost 61-51 2 days later on Saturday and was really never in the game. Lander outshot Lyman 41% to 32, and Mountain View was outshot 50-37%. Both Coach Hansen and Moretti mentioned effort and execution on defense as concerns of their teams after those games. Expect that to be corrected tonight, though, as rivalry night and a packed gym always brings out the best in competitive spirit. Let's take a look at the standings on these sides and what today's game means. Well, both teams at Mountain View and Lyman sitting at 2-0 in the conference season is pretty easy to see what it means. Halfway through, who's number 1, who's number 2 in the Southwest Conference. And if you look across the way at the Northwest side, Warland at 3-0 and 13-5 overall. They're the top team in the West right now, both in the rankings and in the standings. And you'd like to end up on the other side of the regional bracket and maybe avoid a meeting with them until a potential championship if you could. After that, Pinedale sits at 1 and 2, and Big Piney at 0 and 3. In the top 5 rankings, Worland sits number 2 overall, behind only Douglas, which was the unanimous number 1, as it has been all season long. Mountain View at 4th, and Lyman at 5th. Those are the rankings according to the wildpreps.com coaches and media poll. As we take a look at these two teams compared, the records are quite different if you go outside of the conference. Both are sitting at 2 and 0, and will have a number 1 in the Southwest halfway through the season after tonight's battle. But Mountain View sits at 11 and 5 overall, whereas Lyman, a game under 500 at 9 and 10. The difference in shooting between these two teams is fairly significant. From the field, Mountain View shoots over 40%, and Lyman sitting at 34.5%. On the true shooting percentage, Mountain View holds about a 7 percentage point lead, with a 3 percentage point lead in the three-point category. Rebounding, they're fairly equal, although Mountain View's had the rebounding edge in more contests than Lyman. Turnover-wise, this could be a very interesting matchup today, as Lyman has relied on getting a lot of turnovers defensively to force their offense, whereas Mountain View has really taken care of the ball very well this season. Top scorer and rebounder for Lyman is Bryce Hansen. She averages 13.7 points per game. Haley Stevens, number 2 in the conference at 15.4 points per game. And Bailey Henstra, the leading rebounder, at 5.6. Taking a look at Haley Stevens on the season, though, she's scoring at not just a high clip in the total points per game total, but at a pretty efficient total as well. She's toward the top of field goal percentage in girls in the West Side. As we mentioned, she's averaging 15.4 behind just Roxanne Rogers of Pinedale at 16.9 points per game. Field goal percentage-wise, Haley is in the top 10, shooting 46%. And that's impressive because most of the girls, it's really just her and Darla Hernandez who are shooting a lot per game, and then Denali Jones at the 10 spot shooting 45%. Those three girls take a lot of shots per game. Haley's averaging 12.5, and Darla Hernandez averaging just over 13. Denali Jones at about 9 shots per game. After that, it goes down to 4, 5, 1, 2 shots a game, and that's it. So Haley is, as a senior, scoring very efficiently for the Mountain View Buffs. We've been seeing a resurgent of defense, as we mentioned, led by the freshman on the defensive right side in Sage Bradshaw. She jumped into the starting lineup after missing the first week of action at the Bridger Valley Invitational, and she's really led the charge defensively, leading the conference in steals at 3.7 per game coming into tonight. Mountain View versus Lyman, that's your first look on the girls' side, brought to you by Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness. We will come back and take a look at the boys when we come back on a First Bank presentation of Lyman and Mountain View basketball on MyLocalRadio.com on the Sawyer's Disaster Cleanup and Construction pregame show.
Whatever you need, it's likely that Bradshaw's and Lyman can help. Whether it's windows at home or new glass in your car, truck, SUV, or semi, Bradshaw's has it. Tires? Yes. All vehicles, ATVs, semis, and more. Bradshaw's offers a 24-hour towing service for everything large to small. And the Bradshaw Fitness Center is open 24/7. There's more, so always call Bradshaw's first. Whatever you need, it's likely they can help. 307-787-3450. Again, that's 307-787-3450.
Back here on the Sawyer's Disaster Cleanup and Construction pregame show, we looked at the girls' contest starting in about 20 minutes from now. Now let's jump ahead to the contest that will be about an hour and a half from now. The boys' side. First, let's take a look over on the rankings for that as we take a look at the top 5. Douglas, or that's the girls' side. Hold on a second there. At the top side for the boys, it's Worland at the top, and they're the only undefeated boys team left in the state of Wyoming, sitting at 18-0. Lander at number 2, Wheatland at 3. That's the only team in the East breaking the top 5. And then Mountain View at 4, Rollins at 5. So Mountain View sat as high as 2, as low as 5 in the wildpreps.com coaches and media poll throughout this season. Lyman has not cracked that top 5, but that is not reason to think that this game will be heading one way or another. This is probably going to be as close of a contest as we've seen in recent years, and we've had some great ones. Conference seeding is big tonight, though, as you take a look over on those West standings. This hasn't always been the case with this rivalry, as just looking at it beyond what the win-loss is, because Wyoming reclassifies schools every 2 years, Mountain View and Lyman aren't always in the same classification. Around the state, natural rivals like Natrona County and Kelly Walsh and Casper currently play in 2 different regions altogether. And then Rock Springs and Green River, another pair of natural rivals, much like Mountain View and Lyman here. They currently play in 2 different classifications in football, and in other sports, they're placed in 2 different conferences, the Northwest and the Southwest, despite being just 12 miles apart. There's no question rivalries are best when there's more than just pride on the line, and tonight we have 2 boys programs fighting for footing in the 3A Southwest. You can see right there, it's Mountain View at the top at 2-0, Big Piney at 2-1, and then in third spot, Lyman at 1-1. At the bottom, Pinedale has lost to all 3 of those teams and sits at 0-3 in the conference season, 5-11 on the year as a whole. A win for Lyman tonight would mean a 3-way tie for first place between them, Big Piney, and Mountain View. With just 3 games left to go in the conference after this, because the way they currently run conference standings, it just flies by. Just 6 games determine seeding. This would be the most interesting route, would be a Lyman win for that 2020 season to take. For Mountain View, though, they don't really want interesting. A win for them tonight puts them squarely in charge of number 1, shoves Lyman down to the 3rd spot at 1-2, which is a very hard hole to climb out of in just 3 games. And like I mentioned at the top of this could very well be the best boys matchup we've seen in a long time, and that goes beyond the final score because we've certainly had close games in recent years. Last year, Mountain View and Lyman split, with Lyman taking the first game 50-46 and Mountain View taking the second 57-54. Mountain View went on to eliminate Lyman then a week later at regionals in their 3rd meeting the final score in that 47-37. But on paper, you would be hard-pressed to pick a favorite in tonight's game. Mountain View certainly has the record for both overall and conference standings, but Lyman has been a team on the rise and a team on the cusp of pulling off some giant victories. They lost by just 4 points to Lander and Wyoming Indian in their last couple of games, and they had leads throughout both of those games. Mountain View took Lander to double overtime 6 days ago, and by all rights, they looked like they should come away with that victory and win throughout much of that contest. Lyman has 3 guys currently, Alex Bradshaw, Andrew Housekeeper, and Preston Brewer, all scoring in double figures. Mountain View, conversely, relies on a heavy dose of Braden Walk from outside. But in recent contests, Luke Branson has packed quite the offensive punch off the bench. Both of these teams are trying to break into the state tournament after a drought, to say the least. The West is loaded with Big Piney in the South to go along with Mountain View and Lyman. And then you have the 2 top teams in the state up north in Worland and Lander. At least one of those teams that I just mentioned will not be stamping a ticket to the Casper Event Center in March. And favorable seeding will go a long way at regionals towards getting you there. And that's where we sit in this contest tonight, because like we said, if Lyman can get a win, then it's a 3-way tie and really anyone's conference going down these final 3 matchups. If Mountain View gets the win, well, then they're just that much closer, and they really do have an advantage going down the back half of this schedule to be that number 1 seed from the Southwest Conference. Let's take a look at the team comparisons for tonight's games. As we mentioned, Lyman sitting overall at 8-10, Mountain View at 11-4. Both of these teams sitting on opposite ends of that, just like the girls. Mountain View 2 games below 500. The girls were 1 game below 500. Mountain View well above. But as of late, Lyman's have been a team on the rise, and Mountain View's been staying solid. So exactly where we'll sit remains to be seen. Shooting-wise, they're pretty even on the year if you look at the effective shooting percentage, both at right around 51%. Rebounding, Mountain View could have the edge tonight. They've had the edge in a few contests with their size and strength on the inside, and Lyman is still being out-rebounded in contests by almost 6 boards per game. However, shooting, Lyman has the edge in total 3-pointers made, but Mountain View's been more effective from the 3-point line, so that could go either way. Top scorer for Lyman, Andrew Housekeeper, at almost 15 points per game, but coming up and continuing to rise in the ranks in points per game is the sophomore, Alex Bradshaw, and he could overtake Andrew depending on how this game goes or the next couple within a few weeks. Preston Brewer continues to be the top rebounder for Lyman at 6.5 per game. Mountain View's led by Braden Walk. He's number 2 in the conference at 16.6 points per game, and Brigham Blue-Mel averages 8 rebounds per contest. That's another first look brought to you by Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness. We've seen the girls, we've seen the boys. Now let's head back to pregame coverage for the girls and talk to the coaches next on the Sawyer's Disaster Cleanup and Construction pregame show. This is a First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley basketball on MyLocalRadio.com.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Jason Hansen with me. It's rivalry week, so let's start with that. It's always a little bit different. We expect a close game regardless of the year. It's always just tightly contested. Players grow up playing each other, and they get excited for this game. The whole community does. For you, you're looking at it from a position of you got to get this game for conference standings. So as you come off of a loss to Lander where you weren't quite pleased with how the team responded to a run back by Lander, what are you looking at to sharpen up this week in practice?
We're working on some offensive stuff to hopefully get us a few buckets so that we don't go on such a big drought like we did against Lander. And so that's one of the things we're focusing on. And as always, we're focusing in on defense and trying to figure out how to slow down Mountain View. And so, very big game. It's conference week. And the thing about it being rivalry, players either respond really well to it or they don't respond very well to the rivalry game. And so I've seen a lot of good players kind of tense up and not perform well, but then I've seen other players just come out of their shell because I guess maybe they remembered their brother and their sister playing in the same type of game, and they come and bring it. So it's always interesting to see how people respond to this game.
Well, you're a team that gets a lot of turnovers in a contest. You rely on getting that to create some offense, and Mountain View is not turning the ball over a whole heck of a lot this year. So part of the keys for you, I would imagine, would be to force a few more turnovers out of them than they're used to.
Yeah, they have historically, since I've been coaching, they've had excellent ball handlers, and so it is tough to turn them over, but hopefully they have a few inexperienced players and that they're younger, and so hopefully we can get them to turn it over, but we'll just have to see how that goes. Stevens is going to be a tough character to handle for us, and so we're kind of focusing in on her.
What about your team? If you could get your first 3 or 4 possessions to go your way, what would be going right for your team?
First of all, we're getting a stop on defense, and hopefully we're getting out in transition and running. We didn't do that particularly well against Lander. We did early, and that's why we had the lead, but then after that we didn't do a very good job of getting a rebound, kicking it out, and running it down the floor. And so hopefully they come out of transition and maybe 1 or 2 of our sets that we're pretty good at. So,
was that a big part of the stagnation against Lander, was just the box out or the rebound just kind of stopped happening and that turned around?
Yeah, and Lander was doing some stuff to us that we haven't seen this year. They were really playing a saggy man, I guess you would call it, and so they were really keying in on, I thought, Bryce, and trying to, every time she touched it, they were running another girl at her and making it tough on her. I think she had about 10 turnovers, so hopefully we can cut that down, and so that's why we were kind of working on offense to, hopefully bridge those gaps when we aren't scoring. So,
that was Coach Hansen. Thank you very much.
Hey, thanks for having me, and thanks for covering our game.
Hi, this is Chase Sawyer with Sawyer Disaster Cleanup and Construction. Our company has helped thousands of people put their homes, businesses, and lives back together after a fire, flood, storm, or other disastrous event. We work with all insurance companies, and we work for you by being professional, fair, and honest. Our certified technicians are trained in every aspect of restoration, so we can complete each project in a fast and satisfactory way. Call us today, 307-741-7000. Sawyer Disaster Cleanup and Construction.
Continuing our Sawyer's Disaster Cleanup and Construction pregame show, the clock is ticking down to about 5 minutes. This is the girls' game warming up of Mountain View and Lyman. And let's continue it now. We just heard from Jason Hansen. Move over to Jess Moretti, head coach of the Mountain View Buffs. Jess Moretti with me. We had a game get canceled last week against Kemmer. I understand it's been rescheduled. Then we had the game against Lander. After you got just one game and that ended up not going your way, how do you come back? What are you looking forward to do in practice this week?
I know I've talked to you about defense a lot, and we definitely lacked on our defense. Going back through film, I think it was a little more alarming after you watch it back on film. It's always, it's right there in front of you, and so that's something that we have to go back to. And I want to say basics, but it kind of is back to what we do, and what we, and how we've gotten to that top 5 on defense, and it needs to be back and rehoned, and it's, and every year it's the same thing. No matter what team, no matter what season, there's always something to go back and fix, and that's definitely where we're at right now.
And that Kemmer game, is that for next Wednesday? Is that when it's been rescheduled for?
Yeah, the 19th, and it'll be the JV girls and boys will play at 4, and then we're at 5:30. The varsity boys will be at 7.
Okay. That Lander contest, you mentioned that defense, and then toward the end of the game, you kind of pulled all your starters out, put some of the other girls in. That's a common move by some coaches when they're just not seeing what they want out of their main unit.
Yeah, and and at that point, they came in and actually, we didn't miss a beat. And actually, the second half of the game, looking at our percentage from the first half to the second half, we shot 46% in both the third and fourth quarter, and compared to the first quarter, we shot 18 and 33, so 26% in the first half. So, it's, that those girls off the bench, they're ready to go. They're ready to give great minutes, and that just goes to show, like I said, both of those quarters in the second half were 46%, and we ended up winning the second half by 1 point. So, it was great.
You get Lyman this week. Thoughts?
It's like, here we go, right? It's always a battle. No matter where our team's at on any year, it always comes down to a great game, and sometimes to the wire, and other times not. It just depends for sure. We're excited. It'll be it's different this year. We've always really honestly had to plan around McKinley Bradshaw for 4 years, and that's not the case this year. They've got new, and we have new, and so I think on both sides, it's adjusting and learning to new lineups.
And maybe not so much on the offensive side, but from what I've seen defensively, I think you're still going to need to plan around a Bradshaw as Sage is leading the conference in steals. We just definitely have to take care of the ball, and I have faith in that. I think we're one of the lower teams that with turnovers, and last game we only turned the ball over 5 times, and so I'm truly confident in us valuing that ball. That's one of our big things. But and we've talked about that. I'm like, she's everywhere, and she's not afraid to go and overrun people, as far as jumping out on a ball, and so. No, it's something that we have talked about, but something that I feel confident about with my girls. Lyman and Mountain View girls basketball may be just 6 miles apart, but you played 2 different styles definitely. Maybe it's not like fundamentally different, but you have got your style, they've got theirs. As you look at what they play and some other teams, is there anything too much different you'll have to look at this week? They usually will sit in a zone, whether that be their very extended 3-2 or 1-3-1. And so he really likes to play a big zone. We don't like to sit in a zone so much. We like to run. We like to go. And so do they. If they get a still off of that, they like to push and kick ahead as much as they can as well. And so, we're switching up and making adjustments necessary to break the pressure in those zones in our zone offenses, and I think those are the biggest things that I see that we've got to make sure that we make adjustments for based on the defense that they run. They've made a lot of their steals in the passing lanes, more so on the ball. They make them in the passing lanes in that extended zone, as you mentioned, maybe baiting players into thinking someone's open. What do you have to look for when you're watching that Lyman defense? Yeah,
I think just that, and knowing that that Sage is going to be everywhere on that right side, and try to cover everything that she can. And so, that comes down to basics and fundamentals of, faking a pass to make a pass. If they're overplaying, you need to backdoor. Having a pressure relieve up high in our offense, and not playing your, traditional 3 out, 2 in. There's adjustments, like I said, that we have to make so that we release that pressure up on the top side of that zone.
Coach Moretti, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, we just had a Pledge of Allegiance today, so no need for an ad break after that. Talk with Coach Moretti. Now close out the Sawyer's Disaster Cleanup and Construction pregame show. And getting ready for the lineups. Mountain View in the white jerseys, purple letters and numerals. Did I say that wrong? Mountain View in the white jerseys, purple lettering, and Lyman in the blue jerseys with the white numerals, joined now by Kate Bollender. Rivalry night, and if people start standing, we may not be able to see here.
I hope they don't stand, I'm going to be honest.
I really do too. We don't have any time or any room for that. But it is certainly a fun atmosphere to be in here at the Cedar Top Dome. It's already packed in the bleachers, and now they've added the extended bleachers out. There's going to certainly be some more people coming. You've got some space over on the right bleachers that are the add-on ones, and then I assume people start going all the way around here.
If you planned on just coming for the boys' game, you just might as well stay home and watch us, because you are not finding a seat here tonight.
There's not a whole lot, but just 6 miles between these two teams. That's what we expect. And as we mentioned, take a quick look as we jump back into the girls' games as they're announcing the starters right now. What today's game means, both teams are sitting at 2-0 in the conference, and we will have a number 1 team at the end of the night in the 3A conference. It will be either Mountain View or Lyman. The starters for Lyman: Bryce Hansen, Hadley Gross, Mandy Ayer, Sage Bradshaw, and Charles C. Rose. Not too much different. That's what we've seen for quite some time.
Nope.
For Mountain View, Casey Bugas, though, jumps into the starting lineup, and it means Mountain View's going small ball today. Casey Bugas, Emily Bugas, Kylie Dellinger, Sadie Mitchell, the 5'8" post, and Haley Stevens at the point guard. Thoughts on the starting lineups for today's game?
I really like this smaller rotation that Mountain View is going with. Normally, Lyman is a little bit taller, but they do play a little bit more of that small ball. They don't really have that huge post presence.
Yeah, so not this year.
No, not this year. So I like them trying to match up the way that they are and keep with that speed that Lyman has of pushing the ball.
And just as you would expect it, the 2 point guards are getting the opening tip as they usually do. Number 12 versus number 1, Haley Stevens and Bryce Hansen getting the honors at the opening tip. Mountain View will be moving from right to left, Lyman from left to right, and we welcome you in. Thanks for joining us. It's a great Friday night. A little chilly here, but we got to get the people get here, warm it up. It is a little cold. Opening tip goes Lyman's way, and then quickly stolen away by Mountain View. Casey Bugas on the left wing. She'll roll it up to the top. Wearing long sleeves. Casey's got the idea of being a little chilly today. Throw over to Haley Stevens. She's also got the long white sleeves. Bugas down low to Emily Bugas in the right blocks. Passes out right side to Mitchell. She dribbles it out to the corner. Stifling defense to the elbow pass. Dellinger drops in the first 2 of the contest. And Kylie Dellinger puts Mountain View on top 2-0 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board.
You could tell Kylie had been practicing that shot. That was smooth and just had that nice rotation.
Kylie's been a little bit in a slump as of late. Hasn't got a whole lot of points. We got our first foul of the contest. Haley Stevens reaches in on Bryce Hansen. She's been a little bit of a slump as of late, and I understand she just hasn't had her energy as quite as much either. It's been kind of day in and day out. So many players have been battling sickness, but she looks good right there, and they need her defensively and offensively. Mountain View does. Lyman basketball being fronted, and Sadie Mitchell comes away with the steal in front of Hadley Gross. That was Charles C. Rose trying to get it down low to her senior post, and Mitchell grabbed it out of the air. 1 minute gone by. First quarter, Haley Stevens with the basketball for Mountain View. Throws over right side to Emily Bugas, then quickly back up top to Haley Stevens. Stevens looks into the free throw line. Dellinger bounce passes to Mitchell. Rolls down to the ground, picked up on the right corner by Mitchell. She lofts it to Bugas, then to Stevens. A long 3 is airball. Just grazed the bottom of the net. Out of bounds back to Lyman. So far, maybe a little bit of nerves in this game.
I would say so. You got a huge crowd, probably more than you've ever had this entire season.
Yeah, you expect it for this day, but haven't seen it since last year. And as we mentioned, there's only about 6 girls that really have too much experience in an atmosphere like this between both teams, if that. Charles C. Rose has it on the left, blocks, looks out to Hanson. Finally gets it there by way of Sage Bradshaw. The three's up on its way and misses out to the left. Emily Bugas bumps Rose as she comes away with the rebound. Charles C. holding on to the basketball. 6:17 left in the first period. 2-0 Mountain View. Mandier finds some space. Pass Dellinger and the assist by Hadley Gross. 2-2 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Well, Mandier, she's good for points down in the paint, and she's moved into more of a post role with Nicole Peden being out. It's kind of evolved, and I like it a lot. I think Mandy's a very good athletic post.
She can really play all around, same as Bryce.
Stop and pop by Emily Bugas, no good. Rebound Stevens. She makes it, fouled, and continue your thought.
She can really play all around just like Bryce Hanson can. That they can play point, they can play on the wing, they can play in the post. They're just those post players that can go in there, they can play all around, and they can help where's needed.
Positionless basketball, essentially, is what you're saying, and that's the way this game's headed. And one free throw is up and in for Haley Stevens, and it's 5-2 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Hadley Gross blown for that foul. 2 fouls so far, 1 for either side. Pressure on for Mountain View. They're coming after Lyman defensively so far. Air takes it across out to Rose. Corner 3 up and rims off once, twice, no good. Gross had the board, went out of her hands. Sage Bradshaw picks up the loose ball on the right corner. Then to the wing, it's Bryce Hanson dribbling to the top to reset. Out to Charles C. She'll turn around after stabbing and faking a drive into the post up to the top of the key. Rose still with the basketball. Hanson has it on the left wing, 5:15 left. Back to Mandier. She'll spin around to the left against Dellinger. Go to work, use the glass, and put 2 points on the board. That's Mandier's second bucket. She's got all of Lyman's points so far. 5 minutes left. 3 gone by already in the first quarter here on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware scoreboard. Sadie Mitchell tied up at the free throw line, looks back to Haley Stevens. Mountain View resetting, moving from right to left. Fakes to the left, goes right side. Zone look for Lyman defensively. Got Sage Bradshaw hanging down actually in the post to the left side of the corner. Stevens tries the top of the key. 3, good! Haley Stevens with 6 points already, 8-4. And so far it's been Mandy Air and Haley Stevens going blow for these 2 teams. Bryce Hanson with the basketball, trapped as she comes across the timeline. Dellinger away with the steal. Back to Mountain View. Mitchell takes it across the timeline, 4:22 left. Haley Stevens on the right wing, backs up. Stands on the M of that jump line circle. Back to Dellinger, 12-foot shot off the glass, a little hard. Hadley Gross comes away with the rebound. Back Lyman's way, from left to right. Bryce Hanson steps through and makes the shot in the lane. Nice little floater up by Bryce Hanson. 8-6 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware scoreboard.
That was a nice shot by Bryce. She knew what she was doing. She saw the lane and she drove right in.
Hanson 1 for 2 shooting. She missed a 3. That's her first shot from inside the arc. Mountain View basketball. Out to the right corner, then Stevens takes another deep 3. Good! Haley Stevens with a second 3. She's 2 for 3 so far from beyond the arc. And she, the senior now, stepping up big in this rivalry game. Haley Stevens was a leading scorer for Mountain View last year. So really the biggest contributor alongside Bryce Hanson on the Lyman side.
But there is a problem. That's Haley's second foul.
Ooh, there you go. And I was talking about that three-pointer and going on about that, and there was a foul called, and it does go against Haley Stevens. That's big. Hey, you know how we were calling that one restaurant to try to get in on tomorrow? I think they just called us, of course, once we've tipped off. Sorry, you're going to have to wait. We've got more important things. We've got Bridger Valley basketball going on right now. Caroline Bradshaw makes an early entrance into the game and makes her presence known. Hey, was that McKinley out there? Because she just hit a wing 3.
She looked like McKinley out there.
Stepped up there confidently, and it's 11-9 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Casey Bugas from wing to wing over to Emily. That's Bugas's. That's another name that's gone through this rivalry for decades now. Casey Bugas has the basketball. Tawny Bugas was part of that 09 team that I remember going way back as far as I could go in the standings. And then there was another Bugas in 06-07, but I don't have the name for that one because they didn't keep games that year, so we don't know who won that game. We've got limited stats. Our rivalry goes back about 12 years that we have access to games. Lyman has won 9 of the last 10 on the girls' side. Mountain View basketball up by 2 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Bugus over to the left corner. It's Sadie Mitchell tossing up top to Emily Bugus. She drives into the elbow, bounce passes to twin sister. Casey back to Emily. 2:25 left in the first quarter. Casey on the right corner. She's been hesitant to shoot. Her shot's been going a little bit here and there as of late, and she's trying to work her way back. That wrist run, I understand, still bothering her, still inflamed, and taking a timeout. The first of this game is Mountain View. Coach Moretti takes a 30-second. We'll be back on this First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley basketball on mylocalradio.com.
Your mobility affects every aspect of your life. When you suffer from an injury that decreases your mobility, or maybe you're just noticing that you're having a harder time balancing and your flexibility isn't what it used to be, call Randy Christofferson at Achieve Sports Medicine. Randy will work with you to improve your overall health by reducing pain and improving mobility. Schedule your appointment today by calling 307-747-4627. Achieve Sports Medicine in Lyman. No excuses, just results.
Welcome back to Mountain View, Wyoming. Host side of the first of at least two matchups this year between Mountain View and Lyman. The girls contest, 2:20 left in the first quarter. 11 points for Mountain View, 9 for Lyman. What are you seeing so far?
These teams are playing rough. As we look back over the last few years, there was the McKinley era.
Mitchell makes a three.
She does indeed.
Sadie Mitchell, I think that's her first three-pointer of the year that I've been present for. Let's take a quick look. 3 for 13. It's her fourth make of the year. I don't think I've been present for any of the makes.
I know I haven't.
Caroline Bradshaw with the basketball. She jumped into the lineup almost unnoticed and then immediately made a presence with a three ball. Nicole Peden in as well, as is Hope Sinnott. Bradshaw for another three. Up and in! Caroline Bradshaw. Coach Hansen always likes to say, both Coach Brescia and Jason Hansen say, this rivalry has the tendency to have some players step into the backlight and some into the foreground. And so far, Caroline, she is making her presence known already in the varsity contest with 6 points. Missed three ball by Sadie Mitchell. She liked her chances. Missed that one. It almost went in as well. Madison Harris into the game for Lyman, and it's Lyman basketball going from left to right. 14-12 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware scoreboard. Out to Peden on the left wing for Lyman. Hansen pops up to the top of the key. She's guarded by Dellinger, and that's the matchup to watch, especially with Haley Stevens sitting on the bench. Where does Mountain View get its points, and who do they contain on Bryce? We've got an off-the-ball foul. No, a 5-second call against Lyman. Turns it over to Mountain View. And look at this move. This is a gutsy call by Coach Moretti, putting Haley Stevens back into the basketball game late in the first quarter with 2 fouls. You pick up a third here. What do you do then?
You pray.
You put her on the you play the saggy man defense that we were talking with Coach Hansen before that. Probably the grossest defense in all of basketball, the saggy man. Might have that for Haley. She might be on a saggy man defense there. Probably just let them go by. Your offense right now, that's what they need. But they might be playing for one possession as well. Mountain View basketball. Emily Bugus bounce passes to Haley Stevens. Down to 42 seconds left. Jump stop. Free throw line shot misses short. Nicole Peden with the rebound. Lyman basketball up ahead to Caroline Bradshaw. Already 6 points in the game. Caroline to Sage, then back to Caroline. 30 seconds left. Mandy Ayer has it on the left wing. Head fakes down into the blocks against Bugus. Floats it up, misses. And a rip down rebound by Casey Bugus. Toss ahead to Haley Stevens. She was running the lane. Gets the shot to go. And a free throw after being pushed in the back.
I was looking down at my computer, but I didn't see it.
Haley Stevens just got hammered in the back. Half second after she let go of the shot, though, so that helped her make that one. The foul is number 1 against Caroline. Free throw, good, and offense, defense. Haley Stevens makes her offense known and then comes out of the game. She has the equivalent of 4 3-pointers in this first quarter. 12 points off 2 and 1s and 2 trays. Lyman basketball trailing by 5, 17-12, 14 seconds left. Sage Bradshaw works right past the defense at the corner. Baseline drive, floater up, overshot though. Mandier with the rebound, overshot it as well. Bugus with the board, 4 seconds left. Down to 2, running with it at half court. 1 second, heave ho to the bucket. It's off to the right, and it's 17-12 at the end of 1 quarter on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Mountain View over Lyman in Mountain View. Second quarter action brought to you by Reese Auto Service next on a First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley basketball on mylocalradio.com.
When do you schedule doctor appointments? in bed before I fall asleep. In the car waiting to pick up my kids.
We can even do it after breakfast.
We all lead busy lives. Online appointment scheduling puts you in control. In just 90 seconds, you can make an appointment with a primary care provider or specialist at evanstonanytime.com. Select the day and time most convenient for you. Enter some basic information, and just like that, you're scheduled for care. Schedule appointments for next day and beyond at evanstonanytime.com.
Reese Auto Service bringing you second period action here in Mountain View. Mountain View and Lyman 17-12 at the end of one quarter of play. Mountain View on top. Jada Kennison, the freshman, checks in, as well as Katie Georges, the sophomore, and Bailey Henstra, the junior, for Mountain View to start the second quarter of play. Reese Auto Service can work on any engine, big or small. Located in Lyman, Wyoming. Give them a call at 747-6450 or stop in and say hello. Reese Auto Service in Lyman. Ball knocked out of bounds. Charles C. Rose trying to make something happen in the passing lanes, and we did not see loose balls going anywhere for Lyman defensively in that first quarter. So advantage so far, Mountain View taking care of the basketball. 17-12 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Sadie Mitchell on the left wing drives in. She's playing outside the post. She's playing more of in a wing position right now, as Mountain View, as we thought we would see, playing more 4 out, 1 in on the basketball. Katie Georges on the right corner has Kennison to the right side, grabs it, gives it to Kennison. The shot up, just misses on the tray. Rebound ripped down by Charles C. Rose. Up ahead, far sideline, Bryce Hansen, stop, pop, does it go in? Yep, drop it on down. 17-15 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Bryce Hansen with her first shot from distance of the game. Long throw ahead from Dellinger to Georges, then down low to Mitchell. Back to the elbow, and the shot missed by Dellinger. Ball knocked out of bounds, last touch by Katie Georges. Goes Lyman's way. 17-15 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. 6:53 left in the Reese Auto Service second quarter. Kylie Dellinger in the backcourt along with Sadie Mitchell. Defending Bryce Hansen and Mandy Ayer. Those are the two players, the sophomore and the senior, you can trust to hold on to that basketball. Neither team taking a lot of chances today. They're going with their aces, and they're just running their offense through. But these players are stepping up on both sides. Backdoor cut, Rose grabs it, and the assist from Hansen to Rose. How many times have we seen that play this season?
I could not count.
I mean, that's usually the first play of the game. And here's the first big turnover. Sage Bradshaw throws the ball back up top. The steal went to Bryce Hansen. I saw you were going on your stats. 3 ball up by Hansen off to the right. Loose ball board picked up. Bailey Henstra looks around, has to put the rock on the ground, calling for a point guard to come out and grab it. Tosses it out to the left side. Dellinger then to Kennison. 2 minutes gone by in the Reese Auto Service second period. Sadie Mitchell drives into the paint, turns around, double team comes in. She's rejected or stolen away, whatever you want to call it. And then a push foul comes away against Mountain View as Hadley Gross was dribbling off the ball. Sadie Mitchell called for the foul. 5 fouls between the two teams, and 3 for Mountain View, 2 for Lyman. It's tied up 17-17 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. One of the players with 2 out of those 3 fouls for Mountain View, Haley Stevens, back into the contest. They're playing aggressive with her.
They are.
It's 2-0, 2-0 on the conference standings. That's the reason for this. Hope Sinnott to Peden. It went through her hands down to the ground. Peden beats Henstra to the deck. Back outside to the right side. Bradshaw drives in, then hands off to Hansen. She'll back up outside on the right corner, spin around, looks into the blocks, floater up, misses off the back iron. Hansen gets her own board. No, that's Peden rather, and she's fouled as she goes up. High fives all around, and Nicole Peden pumped up after drawing the foul. She's to the free throw line on the season. Lyman sitting at 51% from the free throw line. Nicole Peden, 10 of 30. That's 33%, .33333. I'll let you take over from here.
I think one thing that's going to be a decision maker in this game is how well can these teams make their free throws. This is going to be a close game in the end. Who's going to make their free throws?
Yeah, and free throws have been big. We go back to the last couple of Lyman games that we've covered. They have not converted at the free throw line, and Nicole Peden misses on her first. It's tied up 17-17. Peden on the second. It's good. Make her 11 of 32 on the season from the free throw line. Do that math and get back to me on that free throw percentage. Mountain View basketball going from right to left. Casey Bugas on the left wing. Tosses it back to the jump line circle. Haley Stevens. Oh, no. You really are doing the math. What are we at? I think you did it opposite ways. You got to go 11 divided by 32.
Yep, she's sitting at 34%.
Hey, jumped it up a percent. Haley Stevens up top to Casey Bugas. She'll drive over to her right side, or more just dribble it a couple times. Gets a screen to the left of Dellinger. Thinks about a three ball. Dellinger down low to Mitchell. Up. The defense was late in coming in, but the shots missed. Rebound Emily Bugas, and the putback shot attempted by Dellinger. No good. Loose ball rebound. Foul. And it looks like it's against Nicole Peden. That's the call indeed. Number 10, Nicole Peden. Whistled for her first. The third foul on Lyman. They hold a 1-point advantage on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board, 18-17 over their rival Mountain View. Baseline inbound under the hoop. Kylie Dellinger with it. Mandy Ayer into the game. Caroline Bradshaw, Madison Harrison, Charles C. Rose, and Hope Sinnott in for Lyman. Dellinger stepped over the line inbounding, so it's turnover back to Lyman.
I've done that before, and that is a horrible feeling.
And the reason was, I think she went to go, and then she had her momentum moving forward and could not correct that. Lyman basketball, moving from left to right. Mandy Ayer has it on the wing, picks up her dribble, hands off to Harris on a curl around over to her right side. 4:44 left in the Reese Auto Service second period. Ayer from outside the three-point line, stabs, backs up, hanging around at the top of the key, hands off to Charles C. Rose to her left. 4:34 left. Hope Sinnott has it on the left wing. Looks down low, overthrows Madison Harris into the hands of Dellinger on the run. Kylie for Mountain View. Will she take it all the way? No. Outside to Stevens. Down low, looking for Dellinger. Throws it off to Mitchell. Was that a shot? That counted as a shot. 2 free throws upcoming for Kylie. I thought she was trying to throw it over to Sadie Mitchell. She got hit on the top of the wrist, though, so it's hard to tell what her motion was going for. 4:22 left in the second period. Kylie Dellinger to the free throw line. 58% shooter on the year. It's a 1-point game, and Dellinger hits her first. That surprises me. Kylie, 21 of 36 on the season. She's a pretty good shooter.
She is.
And maybe just those sample sizes, you could have cold for one day, and if you get sent to the line 4 times, that can really mess up your average for quite some time. Dellinger with 3 points in the game. She had the first 2 of the contest with an elbow shot. She hit it confidently.
Bryce Hansen and Nicole Peden are back into the game. They replaced Madison Harris and Hope Sinnott.
And the second shot is off, so we're tied up 18-18 on the Benedict's Market and True Valley Ace Hardware board. Casey Bugas tried to take the steal away from Mandy Ayer, but gets called for the reach-in. Foul number 1 on Casey. Foul number 4 on Mountain View. 2 for Haley, 1 for Sadie Mitchell, and now 1 for Casey Bugas. I'm missing 2 fouls for Lyman. Try to catch those up as I can. Hadley has 1, Nicole and Caroline Bradshaw. Let's see, number 3, that's Caroline. She picked up her second. So now I'm only off by 1. Bryce Hansen, guarded by Sadie Mitchell. I love the change. Look at who they're manning up. Sadie Mitchell's not playing in the post. She's guarding the point guard. And a steal away. It was a loose ball tip out. Katie Georges came away with it. Emily Bugas dribbling with the basketball across the timeline of the M of that midline. Out to the right side. Katie Georges has it. We've seen more of Katie today than we have in some time. She walked. Turnover. And I think the reason for that is in that loss to Lander last week, in the fourth quarter, Katie Georges, Jada Kennison, Emma Murray came in, played some minutes, and some of the starters out on the court with them said, we like the energy that Katie and Jada brought to the contest. And so Katie, raw as a sophomore, getting some time here in a rivalry game to maybe try to get her team jumped up a little bit. And also, you've got to go deeper into the bench because Haley Stevens is in foul trouble. Lyman basketball, turnaround shot. Bailey Henstra with the rejection over Nicole Peden. Caroline Bradshaw came away with it, though. Got bumped and drug her left pivot foot for the walk. She did get bumped a little bit by that one.
She did.
And that may have caused it, but she may have walked before she shot. 18-18 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. 3:25 left in the Reese Auto Service second period. Sadie Mitchell back to the bench. Haley Stevens into the game once again. Stevens with 12 points in the first quarter. Takes a pass from Bugas out on the left wing, then back to Emily Bugas. She'll dribble around a little frantically, looks out for sister Casey to the free throw line. Shot up by Casey, she's fouled, and the shot hits. It jumped and hit every part of the rim before falling through. Bugis just forced that one up, I think, because she knew the contact was coming, and it ends up being 2 points, a chance for one more. Mountain View takes a lead. Here comes Sage Bradshaw into the game. She's been out for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, she has.
First foul. And the free throw missed there. They gave that one to Casey Bugis. How was that? I think they attributed that. A steal by Dellinger ahead to Bailey Henstra, her first 2 of the game. There's no number 4 on Lyman, is there? Oh, yes, there is. Mandy Ayer. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Casey Bugis gets her 2, misses the free throw. Emily Bugis on defense against Charles C. Rose. Out to Ayer. She stutter step. Down to Peden. Quick shot up. Overthrown on the backboard. And a hard rebound down for Haley Stevens playing against Charles C. Rose. Fakes the three-pointer out to left side to Casey. Offensive foul. She pushed out with the left side. No. Yes, it is indeed. Caroline reacted like she thought she was getting it, but they're both number 3, so I think Caroline was a little quick.
Caroline did get it. That's 3 on Caroline.
No, it's it's Lyman basketball.
I don't know. She's 3 though.
That's Casey's 3rd.
Oh.
That was the foul I was missing, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know how that goes. I think they're putting the fouls on the wrong side or something, or they put it to the wrong 3.
Something like that, but Caroline's
out of the game. Well, I think it's because they gave it to Lyman on the foul.
Okay.
I don't know why, but they're going to. I think they're going to come to the scores table and say there's wrong fouls going on. It's Lyman basketball. Sage Bradshaw to the free throw line. She got knocked in the right blocks. Yeah, I was going to say this is just making no sense. Those fouls, and you got 3 guarding 3, but Casey Bugis took the left hand and pushed out on Caroline, and Caroline's been known to do that at times. So that's.
Yeah.
That's, I think, why she reacted. She's like, no, I've done that. I've gotten that foul before. But no, it did go against Casey, and now it's corrected. Second foul on Casey Bugis. So 2 for Caroline. She can come back in whenever she'd like. Sage Bradshaw to the free throw line. And now they need to get the foul up for whoever that was. Sage Bradshaw makes her first. First points of the game. Sage has not necessarily been a lighted up scorer. I think that's maybe in years to come. She averages 6 points a game, though. 2 for 2 trip at the line, and it's a 2-point game. 22-20 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. To the right wing, Emily Bugis turns around against Rose, then down to the corner. Haley Stevens with it. Looks down to the blocks. Dellinger bobbles the basketball and gets hit by Bryce Hansen. I think that's Bryce's first. She's gotten into foul trouble at times this year, but today has not been one of them so far. You can't look at that. That's wrong.
Oh, okay.
That's wrong. They were correcting the Casey Bugis foul as that went up, and then there was a foul as that happened.
Okay.
So then Casey lost a foul, and whoever got that one never got it attributed. But it's attributed on the board with 16 fouls.
Okay.
Turnover the other way. It's a step out of bounds by Kylie Dellinger over on that right sideline. Haley Stevens comes up lame. Did she roll her ankle? Oh, no, she got hit in the head, it looks like, on the left side of the head. 1:58 left in the second quarter, brought to you by Reese Auto Service. Bryce Hansen with the basketball, guarded by Dellinger. There's been about 3 girls guarding her, depending on the matchup today. Spin out right side. To the top of the key, Bugis gets a hand on the basketball, steals it away. On her way, Ayer from behind, the layup missed, and Hadley Gross had the board poked out from behind. Dellinger called for the foul. Over the back foul on Kylie Dellinger, I think. Yes, no, it's on Casey Bugis on the bump. I didn't see that. I thought it was Kylie, but it must have been Casey slapping in from behind.
I'm not sure. I saw a lot of players up in the air, and I could not give an honest assessment of who I thought it was.
Well, I think that's exhibit A of why you want to get here early. We got someone trying to set up here to our right, and took them about 2 minutes to even get up the stairs. 22-20 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Madison Harris and Caroline Bradshaw coming in, but Caroline's in for the shooter. Tim Harold, one of the refs today, was giving Caroline a hard time, saying, "Oh, come on, we'll let you in anyways." 1-and-1 free throws here. Hadley Gross to the line. Shot up and in. And good for Hadley on that, because she struggled at the line this year, but she's been working on it. She's worked her way up to 30%, 9 of 30 on the season.
She had to make some good free throws at the end of last time's game.
That was the last game you were at in Kemmer.
Yeah. Yes.
1-for-2 trip by Hadley, and she made all of her fourth quarter free throws. Jada Kennison with the basketball for Mountain View. It's a 1-point differential. Mountain View on top of Lyman on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. 1:27 left. Dellinger out, throws it up top, stolen away. Mandier with the steal. Sage Bradshaw up ahead, has numbers. Out to Charlesea on the left block. Rose rolls it around. The great thing about Charlesea Rose in that situation is in the fast break. Oh, we got Bugis up ahead to Henstra. She's hit into the free throw line, so that'll slow things down for a bit here. The great thing about Charlesea in the fast break is you can throw it to her for a Lyman player. There's probably no player who converts the layup or the fast break under duress shot better for Lyman, anyone, than Charlesea Rose.
I would agree with that.
Bailey Henstra to the line. This was a shooting foul, so it's 2. 17 fouls either way. Henstra misses off the back iron on her first. Lyman has the lead, 23-22 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Caroline Bradshaw in, as is Nicole Peden and Bryce Hansen. Rose, Harris, and Gross are out. 1:10 left in the first half. Henstra setting up for her second free throw. It's up and in. Tied up, 23-23 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Bryce Hansen with the basketball. Guarded tightly by Dellinger. Throws a little right shoulder and then the left one out. Air has the basketball, drives in from the left wing to the baseline. She's partially blocked. Emily Bugis ties up the basketball. A jump ball called. Stays with Lyman. Emily Bugis, such a firecracker in there. She does everything little for that team to help them succeed. Tying up a 5'10" senior.
Yeah.
She stands at about 5'3", 5'4". Inbound for Lyman. Bryce Hansen has the basketball. Gives it off to Sage Bradshaw. She's at the top of the key. Under 1 minute to play in the first half. 23-23. And a double dribble, a travel called against Sage. Must have drugged the pivot foot. The ref was in my line of sight. And then he called the travel away from the scorer's table. So I missed that, but I finally figured out he was doing the Macarena. That must mean it's the travel. 42 seconds left, 23-23. Mountain View basketball from right to left. Sadie Mitchell takes the pass from Haley Stevens. Out right side. Ooh, Caroline nearly came away with a steal. But Haley comes to the basketball and 30 seconds left. She's standing near that midline circle. Spins around. Stop, pop, throw it up, and it's off to the left. Sadie Mitchell with the rebound. Rolls out to the left wing. 20 seconds left. She picked up her dribble. Coach Hansen calling for a travel. Instead, it's a swing around to the right side. Emily Bugis turns around against Bradshaw. Throws down low to Henstra. Catch and shoot off the glass. Henstra converts and gives Mountain View a 2-point lead, 25-23. Half quarter by Sage. Well, there was 3 seconds left, so maybe a little premature, but the clock runs out. It missed short. 25-23. On the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board, Mountain View leads Lyman. 1 half down, 1 half to go in this girls' half. We'll be back with more.
The best live coverage of local sports, weather, local news, and radio classifieds, plus online streaming music, giveaways, and more. It's all on mylocalradio.com. Watch as your high school teams clash with their biggest rivals. Listen to the latest from your team's coaches. Catch up on local and regional news and stream your favorite music. Visit mylocalradio.com. Like us on Facebook and stream it all live.
When you have any mechanical problems, always think of Reese Auto Service in Lyman first. Doug and the mechanics at Reese Auto Service work on everything from your lawnmower and snowblower to cars, trucks, farm and ranch equipment, and semis. You can also get tires for anything you need at Reese Auto Service. Always visit Reese first. You'll get great pricing and quality-friendly service. Reese Auto Service, 541 Highway 413, Lyman.
Trona Valley Federal Credit Union is a not-for-profit financial institution. When you become a member, you are an owner of the credit union. We believe in people over profit, and that impacts the way we do business from our overall structure down to the smallest detail. Our philosophy sets us apart, and we're here for you. Earn more with our high-yield checking account, start a savings goal, check out our competitive loans, and much more. Become a member today. We're a caring partner dedicated to your financial success. Member NCUA.
Sometimes getting the whole family scheduled for a dental appointment is hard. Different days, different times, and then how do you pay for it all? These problems have been solved by Black's Fork Dental in Mountain View because we serve patients of all ages. It's easy to schedule the whole family on the same day, so you just make one trip. We accept most insurances, and if you don't have insurance, we offer an in-house discount so the whole family can have a healthy smile. Don't wait. Call today. Black's Fork Dental in Mountain View, 307-782-3630.
Business cards are a powerful and inexpensive way to promote the goods and services you offer. You can design your own cards or have the professionals at Westar Printing design your business cards. Now with same day and next day turnaround on all business card printing, you don't have to wait. Get your business cards today. Professional quality, inexpensive prices, and quick turnaround. Visit Westar Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston, across from the library. Westar Printing, 307-789-5202.
Getting a look right now at 3 teams over the break who were honored for winning state championships in 2019. That's the calendar year, not the school year. So we had cheerleading from last spring.
Yep.
And then from the later spring, the track and field team. And then, of course, as you see the back of them at least,
Yes.
the Mountain View Buffs, the 2A state champions in football. This is the 6th overall state championship in Mountain View's history, all of those coming at the 2A level, and the 3rd this past decade. Brent Walk comes in, 8 seasons, 3 state championships, 5 appearances as well. 5 state championships, or 5 state appearances in 8 years.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. They've built quite the program there. And we'll see several of those boys in action. Coming up in about an hour from now is we'll have part 2 of this matchup, and we'll talk about that maybe after this next break. But let's talk about this girls game at hand. 1 half through, 25-23 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Mountain View scored 17 points in the first quarter, 12 by Haley Stevens, playing a lot of that second quarter and half of the first quarter with 2 fouls. They scored just 8 in the second period. 12 points by Lyman in the first quarter, 11 in the second. Stevens did not pick up a 3rd foul in the half, so how do you think that affects her going forward as she comes out in the 3rd quarter with now 2 fouls?
I think she's able to go in and be more aggressive, that she's able to still continue to be defensive-minded, but maybe kind of lay off a little bit on trying to reach for the ball right away, trying to just be minded of what is going on the defensive side, being smart but not reaching too much.
Yeah, and not picking up a 3rd foul, that's huge. Once you do get a 3rd, though, you get a 3rd foul in the 3rd quarter, it's kind of, though, like you're in that foul territory again. Nothing like 2 fouls in the first quarter and then coming out to play, though.
Yeah.
And you can tell the importance of this game. Let's go back to those standings in case you didn't miss, in case you missed us pregame. The importance of this game goes so far beyond the rivalry. Both of these teams, Kate, are sitting at 2-0 in the conference with just 6 games in all to be played, and that's what determines who's the number 1 seed and who doesn't have to face probably Warland. But both of these teams lost to Lander as well, so 1 seed, 2 seed going through. You want to be playing Powell or Lovell as things are sitting right now in that first round. You do not want to face Lander or Warland, regardless of even that regionals is in Lyman. It doesn't matter. You know,
it doesn't matter.
Because those teams, that team came in Thursday and defeated Lyman on Lyman's home court.
Yeah.
Shot great. And both those teams talked about how they didn't like the energy that they got out of their teams in those Lander contests on Thursday and Saturday. I don't think we have any energy problems today.
No, I would definitely say not. You got a great home crowd for Mountain View. You have a great away crowd for Lyman. 6 miles apart, you would expect that.
Run us through some of those first half numbers as you had them.
Okay, so we're going to start with Mountain View. They are technically the home team.
They are the home team.
They are the home team.
Although there's quite a Lyman contingency is what you're saying.
Yeah. Shooting from the field, they are shooting 43%. When you break that down a little bit more, from 2, they're sitting at 43%. They're actually the same sitting from behind the 3-point arc at 43%.
And what's the numbers on that, on the 3-point shots?
What do you mean?
Like the overall shots, not the percentage, but they're this for this.
They took 7 shots, made 3 of them.
Both of them?
For Mountain View.
Oh, for Mountain View, sorry.
Yes. And then when you go to the line, they're shooting 57%. That's Mountain View. When you break it down into rebounds, they have 7 rebounds. They have 3 turnovers. They have 6 steals and a block. When we come down to Lyman, shooting from the field, they're sitting at 47%. So that's 4% better than what Mountain View is sitting at. When you break that down a little bit more, they're shooting 42% from 2, 60% from 3. And then when they go to the line, they're sitting at 67%. They have 10 rebounds. They have 3 turnovers, 2 steals, and 0 blocks.
And then on the Lyman side, the shooting, the breakdown, Lyman, Mountain View, how are we sitting at on that?
What do you mean?
Comparative scoring.
Comparative scoring from the field, we're just going to go there. 47% for Lyman, 43% for Mountain View.
3 minutes before the third quarter starts. 25-23 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. We will take a break here and come back in 1 minute. This is the First Bank presentation of Lyman and Mountain View basketball on MyLocalRadio.com.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
We hope you're enjoying this MyLocalRadio.com exclusive broadcast of Bridger Valley Sports. We love being able to travel around the state to bring the action on the field or court back to you watching at home. Let's face it, doing all of this would not be possible without all of our great sponsors. We appreciate the support the following businesses and individuals show to both Mountain View and Lyman Sports. Dr. McKay Frankham, quality dental care at affordable prices. Westar Printing in Evanston. No matter what you want printed, Westar is where you want it done. Reese Auto Service. From lawnmowers and snowblowers to cars, trucks, and semis, Reese Auto Service in Lyman does it all. Trona Valley Credit Union, member NCUA. Wyoming Dental Specialties. Make an appointment with specialist Dr. Vuig or Stosich by calling the Evanston office at Bear River Dental. Plains Tire in Evanston, Wyoming's oldest and largest tire dealer. Thank you to all of our Bridger Valley sports sponsors.
Well, we talk a little bit about the boys' game after we came back out of the break, and this is a big game as well. 1-1 is where Lyman sits at in the conference. Mountain View at 2-0. Mountain View wins. They're kind of running away with the conference.
Yep.
If Lyman wins, it's a 3-way tie. Big Piney holds the tiebreaker over Lyman. Lyman would hold the tiebreaker over Mountain View, and Mountain View would hold the tiebreaker over Big Piney.
Yeah.
Old-fashioned mess is what we'd have on our hands, and Lyman would love that. Mountain View, they'd like to keep the pig pen a little cleaner than that and muck it out and come away with a 3-0 start halfway through. Second half of this game coming up in 35 seconds on the girls' side. Kate, second half, what do you think both these teams are coming out? I like the energy out of both. Do they need to make any adjustments or just keep on going?
I would say just keep on going. Right now they're playing good. I would say try to keep Haley out of foul trouble going in. But aside from that, both these teams have great energy. They've controlled the ball very nicely considering it is a rivalry game. There's a lot of energy here. There's a lot of nerves. I think this game has overall been very clean and it's been good.
Well, we won't see too much man out of Lyman, so you won't have one person necessarily on anyone for Mountain View. But on the Mountain View side, they play a lot more man defense, and it's been interesting to see who they've chosen to go with on Bryce Hansen throughout the contest. They've gone with multiple players, not trying to get anyone in foul trouble throughout. Mountain View starts the third period with the basketball. White jerseys for Mountain View, blue for Lyman. Moving from left to right offensively, Mountain View has Emily Bugas handing off to Haley Stevens, then back over right side to Emily Bugas. Bailey Henstra gets the start in the second half. She did not start the game today. They went with small ball. Down low to Dellinger. She throws it out just into the hands of Haley, runs into the trees, is rejected by Air on that, and then a turnover. Just threw the ball away. Hadley Gross, I think, was looking for Sage Bradshaw, and she threw it right to Kylie Dellinger and a quick in. So Kylie Dellinger gets the first bucket of the first quarter and the first bucket of the third as well. Long shot up, Hansen hits a wing shot or misses the wing shot a little bit long. Henstra with the board, had it, knocked out from behind by Air, ball down to the ground, and a timeout taken by Lyman. Charles C. Rose had a hold of it, so they'll take a timeout, come back with Lyman possession. 1 minute gone by in the third period on a First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley basketball on MyLocalRadio.com.
When you have any mechanical problems, always think of Reese Auto Service in Lyman first. Doug and the mechanics at Reese Auto Service work on everything from your lawnmower and snowblower to cars, trucks, farm and ranch equipment, and semis. You can also get tires for anything you need at Reese Auto Service. Always visit Reese first. You'll get great pricing and quality-friendly service. Reese Auto Service, 541 Highway 413, Lyman.
27-23 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware scoreboard. Mountain View on top of Lyman. Mountain View led 17-12 after the first quarter. Lyman's had a lead here and there by 1 point, but it's been Mountain View's lead for most of this night. It's Lyman basketball. Sage Bradshaw with the inbound to the left of her own hoop from our vantage point. Tosses it up to Hadley Gross on the block. One dribble to the top of the key, then air hands off right side to Charles C. Rose. Rose playing a little bit of point guard here over on the right side. Hansen calling for the basketball near the jump circle. 1 minute gone by in the third period. Hansen going to work against Dellinger. She'll toss it up, looking for air, and they just were in sync with each other. The shot is in. Bryce led air there. She released as the ball went up. That's two players who have practiced that and just have a good sync between the two of them.
They play so well together. You saw that in volleyball and coming into basketball. They just work so well together.
Missed shot on the Mountain View side. Mandy Air with the rebound. Back from Gross to Mandy Air. 2 steps in, Air drives in, layup good. We've got a tie game, 27-27 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. 2 straight buckets by Mandy Air, one of them assisted by Bryce Hansen, one created off the dribble, and then an errant pass by Dellinger. Thrown into the lane, Hadley Gross with the steal. Bryce Hansen gives off right side to Sage Bradshaw. 2 minutes gone by, and Lyman has a short corner shot missed by Hadley Gross, picked up by Bailey Henstra. Momentum shifting Lyman's way, though. Haley Stevens, half speed across the timeline from left to right. 5:45 left in the third period. On an undercut, down under the basket, Sadie Mitchell takes the basketball from Emily Bugis. Tries to go baseline, is trapped, and a timeout by Moretti just in time. She's fired up, not happy with the way her team's responded out of the break here. Tie game, 27-27 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. 32nd, no, a full timeout. We'll be back in 1 minute.
With MyLocalRadio.com, you get to stay up to date with Lyman and Mountain View sports by watching all of the games live in the convenience of your own home. Now you get to keep up with your coaches, athletes, and teachers throughout the week with the Bridger Valley Coaches Corner. Weekdays during the school year, the Bridger Valley Coaches Corner will run on KNYN 99.1 FM at 3 p.m. and keep you up to date with the most interesting storylines from Lyman and Mountain View in football, volleyball, basketball, swimming, running, golf, and more. We'll also check in with different students and teachers from the two schools throughout the year. 3 p.m. Monday through Friday on KNYN 99.1 FM is the Bridger Valley Coaches Show presented by MyLocalRadio.com. Stay connected.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Back out of the break, a First Bank presentation of Mountain View and Lyman basketball. Kylie Dellinger takes the inbound for the Buffs. She's at the top of the key, dribbling over, hands off to Emily Bugis. Bugis with the basketball, goes right off of air. Then back to Dellinger, trying to run a curl around, back to Haley Stevens. She has not scored since the first period of play, though. She had 12 points in the first. Oh, may have walked with it. Out to Bugis. Free throw line shot, no good. Henstra fighting for the board, but over the back, Bryce Hansen comes in and forces a jump ball possession arrow with Lyman. A lot of fighting there on that board. And Bryce came from behind, but she was straight up, had just the ball. She never gave a bump or anything. Nope. Never reached over the back. So I think that was a good call by the officials to let that one play on between the two teams. Not a lot of fouls in this first half that we saw, and no fouls so far in the second half. Refs are letting them play here in this rivalry night.
What you like out of a rivalry night, just let them play, let them go.
On the left block, Bryce Hansen from Bradshaw. Turnaround hook shot by Bryce, no good. Peden fighting for the board. That's an over-the-back foul against Haley Stevens. We said Haley Stevens was dealing with foul trouble in that first quarter. She picked up 2.
That was actually on Dellinger.
No, it's on Nicole Peden.
Oh.
Over the back.
Sorry.
Yeah, wrong number 10. It's okay. Out left side, Sadie Mitchell. Down low to Henstra. Overthrew her. Henstra may have been a little slow coming out, but Caroline Bradshaw took the steal and stepped on the baseline, so it's right back to Mountain View. Caroline, kind of a whirling dervish as a freshman. Sometimes her feet get a little happy and ahead of her. I think that will come with age as well. The talent is overpouring with this young lady who scored 2 3 balls in the first half. Long inbound pass to Haley Stevens. Turns around, guarded by Air. Tosses up to Bugas. She drives in, bounce pass to Henstra. Wild throw off the glass, hits the bottom of the rim, knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Stevens. For Bailey there, maybe slow down a tick and get that shot up. She has the height advantage at 6 foot over everyone. Caroline Bradshaw passes into Mandy Air. Dellinger guarding her tightly. Mandy across and confidently with the left hand. She is left-handed dominant, so that gives her an advantage in basketball on that play. Madison Harris up top to Hope Sinnott. 4:20 left in the third period. No one scored for a bit. It's 27-all on the Benedict's Market and Ace hardware board. Air tumbles down to the ground. Caroline picks it up. A step inside the three-point line. She misses short. Ball goes through the legs of Harris, picked up by Stevens, thrown off the ground to Dellinger, and then back to Stevens. 4:04 left. Throw up ahead and out of bounds. Nobody grabbed it. Casey Bugas will check in for Bailey Henstra. Coach Moretti giving an earful to Haley Stevens after that turnover.
I think she's a little disappointed with how quick they're trying to push it, but they're not ready for that speed just yet. Slow it down, calm down. You'll be fine.
Caroline Bradshaw pushing the tempo. 27-27 across the timeline for Lyman, working from right to left. Toss over left side. Madison Harris has it on the wing. She'll throw down low to Peden. Double team on Nicole. She'll pass out of it to Harris. Driving in against Harris. Jump stop taken away by Haley Stevens. Trying to pull away from Hope Sinnott. Jump stop. Layup good. Haley has scored. She has 14 in the game. Her first bucket since the opening quarter. I think the fouls have affected her offense a little bit there. She's certainly affected her defense in the way she's been able to play, but coming away with a steal there, as we mentioned, when she did pick up one, Charles C. Rose takes the pass into the blocks against Dellinger. Kylie lost where the ball was at, looked away, and that opened up the shot. Therefore, who just scored that ball again?
Rose.
Oh my goodness, Charles C. Rose was in the middle of the sentence, and I forgot where I was. High shot up over the head of Sadie Mitchell. Rebounded by Rose. Up ahead to Peden. 3-on-2 advantage. Nicole blows right over Casey Bugas. Blocker charge. A blocker, a charge. They call a block. And that brings a few Mountain View fans up to their feet. Nicole Peden to the line. That's become a famous meme on the internet thanks to my favorite NBA player when I was 3 years old, Rex Chapman, an old Charlotte Hornet. He'll post pictures, and that would be a perfect GIF right there. Blocker charge is what the caption is. And that was the classic case. Is that a block or is that a charge? Referees ruled that Casey's feet were not set, so it was a block. First free throw good by Nicole Peden.
That gave Lyman the lead right there.
Sure did, 30-29, and a wholesale substitution. Everyone but the shooter out and then in for Lyman. Sage Bradshaw, Mandy Air, Bryce Hansen, and Hadley Gross all into the game. And no one setting in and waiting to get in, so Nicole Peden will stay in. That was the fourth foul on Casey Bugas. She comes out of the contest. That's a big storyline as well. Casey, she's going to have to sit for a bit or play tentatively on defense. High dribble, Katie Georges out right side to Dellinger. High throw over the hands of Haley. Picked off by Sage. It's Haley versus Sage. The layup is good. Lyman takes a 4-point control of this game. 33-29 on the Benedict's Market and Ace hardware board. Haley trying to get those points back. A block called. Bryce Hansen saying it was a travel, but it's a foul on number 4, Mandy Air. Nicole went 2 of 2 from the line, and then the ensuing shot in by Sage Bradshaw. She has 4 in the game. A 4-point lead. Throw into the blocks, looking for Dellinger. Haley Stevens throws it away. Picked off by, let's say, Sage Bradshaw. Pass from Air back to Bradshaw to the free throw line. Throw down low. Hansen. Shot's good in the bucket. Gives them a 7-point lead. Well, this guy, 6-point lead. Wow, this game's turned on its head, and a timeout taken by Mountain View. Let's keep it right here for a bit. What's been the charge of this turnaround?
Well, Lyman came out. They were cool. They were calm. They got down a little bit. But then Mountain View comes out, and they just looked flustered. They looked like they were trying to push the ball way faster. They were trying to keep the tempo of Lyman, and that's just not the way they play basketball. They push it fast, but they don't necessarily play that fast. You have Casey Bugis picking up her 4th foul. That gets in your head. They're missing shots. They're missing some rebounds. Lyman's getting steals. You just calm down. This game isn't over yet. You have 2 minutes left in the third and then a whole 4th quarter to play. You have overtime if needed.
Yeah. And you mentioned it, that 4th foul by Casey Bugis. More than the 4th foul, it was the way that play happened.
Yeah.
That was the first moment that we knew there'd be a few today of that this gym is going to explode one way or another. And then how did the players react out of that? That call went against Mountain View.
Yep.
And then what hurt the most is that Nicole Peden goes 2 of 2 from the line. Casey on the bench sitting with 4 fouls. Haley Stevens kind of pulled off on the defense there on the next play when she had that pass header away, went over her head, and she really had no chance to get it.
No,
she could only play defense, try to do what she could. But I don't mind her not trying to pick up a foul there. I mean, Sage is probably going to make the shot. If not, she's a great free throw shooter.
Yeah.
You on the court being Haley, more important right now than 2 points in this game.
Yes.
Back out onto the court, Mountain View basketball. Katie Georges drives in at the elbow, throws down low to Henstra, turnaround against Gross. Bailey gets her 3rd bucket.
That was a nice assist by Georges there, just seeing who was open.
And a late foul call there on Hadley Gross. I didn't see the foul there on the turnaround. I looked down to put the points on the board, and Hadley's just picked up her 2nd foul. So 35-31, a chance to cut it to a 1-possession game here. Bailey Henstra at the free throw line. Rolls the basketball off her fingertips, shoots, misses off to the right, and Bryce Hansen corrals the board for Lyman. Hadley Gross takes the pass from Hansen, gets it back to Bryce in a rather quick fashion, as you would expect for Bryce. She just dribbled it out of bounds. That would not expect that for Bryce Hansen.
No.
A rare ball control issue for the sophomore point guard. Kylie Dellinger takes the inbound from Haley Stevens. A chance here for Mountain View to get some momentum back. Spin around, guarded by Air. Stevens out to Georges on the left corner. She drives against Gross, steps through, shot short. Rebound, Bryce Hansen. It looked like a 2-step and then jump stop there on Katie Georges, and that was the reason for the foul or the travel calls by the Lyman fans. Sage Bradshaw nearly stepped out of bounds. She gets it across the timeline, drives right side, pass Henstra defensively, misses short on the floater. Air back to Rose. It was an offensive rebound by Mandy Air. Drive in, Bradshaw to Gross. What a beautiful assist, but the shot takes it away. The no good. It was beautiful on the pass. Stunning. Instead it's Mountain View basketball. Haley Stevens throws back to Dellinger. 35-31, the home team down by 2 possessions. Stevens tries to change that. 3 is up, misses long. Rebound, can it be chased down by Dellinger? Oh, she didn't realize a Lyman player touched it, so she threw it back to Mandy Air. Layup no good. Haley Stevens with the basketball. 1 minute left in the 3rd period. 35-31, Mountain View down, but with the ball. Drive in, Stevens lost her dribble and dribbled it perfectly through the legs of Hadley Gross, but a graze on the knee of Gross is called. I didn't see the trajectory change, but it's Mountain View basketball. 44 seconds left in the 3rd period. Nicole Peden checks in for Hadley Gross. Kylie Dellinger to inbound. Throw out right side. Katie Georges against Bradshaw. Gets a step on her. Throws it up with the left hand, and it's good. Some things that Katie Georges does on the court just make me shake my head and say, well, I guess that works. And that's what she just did there. She's not a lefty.
No, but she made that look pretty.
Nothing but net. 35-33. Lyman basketball. Step in on the blocks. Air misses short. Rebound. Thank you to Mandy Air, says Charles C. Rose. She picks that one up. Back to Mandy. 13 seconds left. Lyman with a 2-point lead in the 3rd quarter. 10 seconds to go. Air still with the basketball. Terminates her dribble out to the right wing. Rose drives into the elbow. Has the ball poked out by Georges. Up in the air. Out of bounds. The clock runs down to 0.5 Mountain View basketball. So likely we're headed to the 4th with a 2-point game. Be looking around for the Dr. McKay Franco precision plays of the game. I don't even know where to begin.
Hard.
3rd quarter ends 35-33 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Mountain View, the home team, down by 2 to Lyman as we head into the 4th period next on a First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley basketball on MyLocalRadio.com.
When you're looking for one location that is centrally located in Wyoming to host a business meeting or corporate retreat, always consider the Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper first. With meeting rooms and amenities that everyone can enjoy at the Come On In is the best place to host events. The rustic decor, fireplaces, jacuzzis, pool, and large indoor atrium will make your event memorable. Call today and find out the ways we can help make your event a success. Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper. Call 307-472-6300.
An infected tooth can cause discomfort and serious harm to your health. At Wyoming Dental Specialties, endodontist Dr. Leslie Walker understands the complexities removing infected tissues from inside the tooth, which is one reason why you can trust him to provide endodontic treatment and root canal therapy. With a skilled staff and state-of-the-art technology in our office, we help save your smile and improve your overall dental health. Call today to schedule your appointment, 307-789-5608.
8 minutes put onto the clock, and here we go. 35-33 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. I'm going to adjust that scoreboard there. I don't think it went off. I think that's just a different edit, I guess we could say, of that. So get the fouls there. Just 4 fouls between these two teams. 3 for Lyman, 1 for Mountain View in the second half. Haley Stevens with the basketball for Mountain View. Gives it to Dellinger, looks down into a double team to Henstra. Katie Georgia stepped out of bounds trying to save that. I don't like that pass decision there into a double team.
No, I think there was smarter passes that could be made, but again, it's a rivalry game. Nerves are kind of everywhere.
Bryce Hansen takes the basketball. Dellinger trying to make up for that last snafu. And a ball stop. We've got a timeout for Lyman. Coach Hansen, he's taking a timeout. It's been mostly Mountain View here in the second half taking the timeout, so we'll take it with them. 32nd. 35-33, Lyman leads Mountain View on a First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley basketball on MyLocalRadio.com.
Meet the service and parts department staff at Auto Farm Chevrolet. We work on almost every type of vehicle, foreign and domestic. We also sell parts and accessories for almost all makes and models. Our staff is friendly and well trained, and we are here to serve you. Open Monday through Friday beginning at 7:30 a.m. We invite you to Auto Farm Chevrolet for all your parts and for all your service needs. 624 Front Street, Evanston. We're a community-driven dealer.
35-33 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Lyman on top. Mountain View controlled much of that first half. I think you got to give advantage to Lyman here in the second half. And really, they've been climbing back ever since the second quarter. They actually outscored Mountain View 8 points to 11 in that second period. 35-33 here, and it's Lyman basketball. Caroline Bradshaw goes from the left corner up to the top and hands off to Bryce Hansen. She'll work against Haley Stevens, screened on by Nicole Peden, who gets the pass at the free throw line. Stop, throw out left side, Air just a step inside the three-point line on the wing. Puts the ball down onto the ground. We're almost 45 seconds, close to a minute into this fourth period. Air still with the basketball. Nicole Peden screening and trying to open up space. Down low from Air to Hansen. Off the blocks, no good off the glass. Rebound by Hansen though. Ball being poked at and a foul. I think it's number 3 on Haley Stevens. Wait for Tim Harrell to make the call here. Number 1, Haley reached in and got the foul call against Bryce Hansen. Number 2 is all of the team for the half.
I thought that should have came a little bit earlier. She went up and she folded over Bryce as she was trying to go up the first time.
Drive in and Air draws the foul against Sadie Mitchell. 2 shots. Mandy took the inbound pass and saw a wall of white and said, hey, if I throw my body at it, I'll probably get a foul called. She was risking life and limb there on that play. 1 minute, 3 seconds gone by in the fourth quarter. I think that's what Coach Moretti's talking about right now, that, hey, Mandy did a good job of drawing the foul there. I think she forced the contact more, but that's part of playing basketball.
It is.
And that's part of playing basketball, too, is the coach coming out and saying, hey, watch that next time.
Yeah.
First free throw, good by Mandy. That's the first points of the fourth quarter. Second free throw off. Mitchell grabs the rebound. Playing with double post right now. Henstra and Mitchell on the court along with Haley Stevens down low, throwing it to Henstra. Knocked out from behind by Mandy Air. Here comes Kylie Dellinger. She replaces Katie Georges on the court for Mountain View. Emily Bugis, the 5th player for the Buffs out there. 3-point game. 36-33 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Kylie Dellinger already stepped over the baseline once, tiptoeing to not let that happen again. Passes to Bugas, then back out to Dellinger. Skip from left to the right. Over to the wing. Catch and shoot. Stevens is way long. Bryce Hansen rips the ball out of the hands of Kylie Dellinger. Tumbles down to the ground. Jump ball called. Possession. Lyman.
I think Lyman's really having to pick up their defense when it comes to Kylie, because Kylie's going to be on in every play that she can, ripping down those boards, doing what she can for her team.
About 5'7". She's been trying to be tenacious on the boards today. Sage Bradshaw with the basketball, crossing the timeline with her left hand. Loses the dribble, picks it back up as she spins around, grabs it with the right, terminates out to Nicole Peden on the left wing. 6:22 left. Catch and shoot by Hansen at the top of the key. Misses long. Rebound, nobody. It's on the ground. Rose had it. Dellinger had it. A foul called. But who's it go against? I think it's on Mountain View. Numbers won't do us much good. It's on number 4.
Emily
Bugas picks up her second. You ever notice how when these two teams are playing today, there's always 2 of one number out there on the court?
Oh, it's kicking my butt sometimes.
6:15 left in the fourth period. Baseline inbound, long one to Bradshaw, then back to Hansen. She's on the right blocks, lays it in with the right hand. 9 points for Bryce Hansen.
That's such a pretty play by Lyman that they're able to do that and go in, just draw the defense away and have someone right down there ready for it.
Jump ball on the other side. Charles C. Rose was tied up, and I think it might have been Mitchell or Dellinger there. This time it's with Mountain View. 38-33, Lyman on top on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. 2 minutes gone by in the fourth period. Dellinger waiting for someone. 5 seconds is coming close. Just in at the buzzer. Mitchell catches, gets hit by Peden and throws it up. Misses well short, but to the line for 2 shots is Sadie Mitchell. Free throws for Mountain View. They've just 0 of 1 in the second half. They made 4 in the first half, went 4 of 6 shooting, 4 of 7 in the game.
Really?
Yes.
Good for them.
I thought you had more. I thought you were going somewhere with that. Mitchell makes her first free throw. 38-34, so a 4-point game. Mitchell had 5 points at the half. She's got 8. Make it 9 with the second free throw make. 38-35 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. And a whistle blown. Timeout taken by Coach Hansen. He's questioning the scores table, what timeouts he has left. I think he has 2 left. 5:58 left in the fourth period. And it's a full timeout, so we will be back in 1 minute on a First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley basketball on MyLocalRadio.com. Lyman 38, Mountain View 35.
If you want your truck to really catch the eye, have the professionals at Plains Tire in Evanston install a custom lift kit with new tires and wheels. We've got a huge selection to choose from, so no matter what your style is, we've got the tires and wheels to make you smile. The way your truck looks reflects on you. Get the reflection you want with a lift kit, new tires, and wheels from Plains Tire in Evanston, the tire professionals. 157 Bear River Drive. Stop in today.
At Trona Valley Federal Credit Union, we know our members by name and we love working with them face-to-face. But did you know that members can also handle almost all banking online? Everything from managing your accounts and paying bills to applying for all types of loans. It's simple and we're happy to help you get started. Join Trona Valley Federal Credit Union today. We're a caring partner dedicated to your financial success. TronaValley.com, member NCUA.
$38-35 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware scoreboard. It's Lyman basketball. They need to go the length of the court, but no time constraints on that. 5:58 left in the game. Mandy Air across the timeline. Katie Georges gets a poke at the basketball. Clears it out for Haley Stevens to come away with it. Georges being that firecracker on defense, as that's what's gotten her these minutes with the way she played in the fourth quarter against Lander a week ago. Out to Emily Bugas, then low to Mitchell. She misses short. Rebound on the ground, picked up by Stevens. Time, jump ball called between her and Mandy. Give it back to Lyman, I think.
I think it is Lyman, yep.
38-35, Lyman on top of Mountain View. Bryce Hansen will inbound. She called off Charlesy and sent her out to be one of the possible receivers of the pass. Rose does take that pass on the inbound. 5:30 left. Georges poking at the basketball, called for a reach in. That's foul number 5 for Mountain View. And Katie's first foul. That's one thing. She can play very aggressive defense. She's got 4 more fouls to go.
She does, and she does play aggressive defense. She's right up in your face and not going to give you any room.
That was team foul number 5 for Mountain View. It's Lyman basketball. They have 4 fouls. Air bumping against Mitchell. Dribbles it off her left foot and out of bounds. Oh, she grabbed her hair that time and looked like she was going to rip out the ponytail with her frustration. As that is one of the worst feelings you can have as a basketball player, to feel the ball go off your sneaker and then roll out of bounds.
Yep.
Mountain View ball. Haley Stevens across the timeline at 5:12 left in the contest. A 1-possession game. Haley has just 1 bucket since her 12-point first quarter. Out to the right side. She hasn't been able to dial it in from distance. She's been missing long her last 3 attempts. Double teamed on the corner. Finds Bugas, who gets hit from behind by Mandy Air. And there, just like we said throughout this game, 4 was guarding 4. So it's a good thing we saw who the offending foul was there, because we'd look up and say, oh, foul number 3 on number 4. Well, they both have 2 fouls. That means nothing to me.
No.
I think Emily actually just has 1 foul, but that's foul number 3 on Mandy Air. Inbound to Casey Bugas. Under 5 minutes to play. Mountain View being methodical here. They got a little wild in the 3rd quarter. And then the start of the 4th, game got away from them a bit, trying to rope it in here. Bugas at the free throw line. Casey drives in, misses short. No contact, but an offensive rebound by Mitchell. Pass back to Emily Bugas. It goes off her hands. Karams out of bounds. Back to Lyman. 4:37 left in the 4th period. This is a wild game. I'm holding my head every 4 seconds. I feel like, oh my goodness, what's going to happen next?
And we don't know.
38-35. Hansen tries to split through the defense. It's good. And the block foul means an and 1 free throw. Hansen may have just given control to Lyman here. They've jumped it up to 5 points. Bryce is top 10 in free throw percentage in the conference. She shoots 71% from that line. She's into double digits as well. 12 points in the game with the make. 41-35 after the free throw's good. Mountain View, they had a good possession there, but it resulted in no points. And then Lyman comes down quickly and gets 3. So what does the Buffs do here to respond? Bugas drives the right side. Shot up. Hansen rejects it. Down to the ground. Jump ball should stay with Mountain View. Bryce Hansen helping Casey up after that rejection.
And you got to love that. Bryce had a good play. She blocked the ball, went right back down to grab it to get that jump ball, but then helped Casey back up to the ground.
Casey, I liked her aggressiveness, and I think Bryce kind of hid herself there because she came in out of nowhere and quickly to get that rejection in. Looking into the blocks, Haley against Bryce. She gets another rejection. 2 blocks for Bryce in a row. Now the ball is out and loose. A run for it. Mandy Air had it. Casey Bugas picks it back up. Bugas poked out from behind, close to a travel. Hands off right side to Stevens. Jump stop from 8 away. It's in. I have not seen anyone that's as good this year in 3A girls basketball as that stop and pop shot that Haley Stevens has. She can stop on a dime, jump stop, and go right up and swish it in. 41-37 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Charles C. Rose to Mandy Air from wing to wing over on the right side. Moving from right to left, Sage Bradshaw starts to drive in, picks up her dribble on the corner, then back to Peden. Ooh, a little bit of clock stopping here, forcing the defense out to guard her. She held on to it. Kylie Dellinger racing around. Off to Mandy Air. Dellinger stays on her. 3:12 left. Back to Peden. And this is some stall ball, no doubt about it right here. 2-possession game.
Well, you see Dellinger running out to guard those players. She gets a look in her eyes that I would not want to be the recipient of being guarded against. She looks intense.
Dellinger got pretty handsy there towards the end, though, and I thought the foul was going to come a little bit sooner. They gave her a little leeway, but the foul eventually comes in. 3:02 left in the 4th period. Foul number 7 on Mountain View.
Is that only her first?
And yeah, the first on Kylie Dellinger. She's played a lot of defense for just one foul. Free throw by Peden is good. 5 points for Nicole, all from the free throw line. 4 of 5 shooting. I think I said 5 points. 4 points. A chance for 5 points with another make. 5-point game. Peden makes it 6. Playing with the popsicle stick, stuck to her left pinky with the broken finger. Peden is 5 of 6 from the free throw line today.
I have her at 83%, so yeah, 5 of 6. She's doing good tonight.
Bugas to Dellinger, top of the key 3, misses off to the right. And Bugas tried to toe that baseline, but stepped out. Back to Lyman, 2:49 left. This is the biggest advantage we've seen either side so far. And with just 2 minutes, 49 seconds to go, Mountain View's going to need to make something happen, especially Nicole Peden checking out. Lyman content to stall in that half court right now.
Yes. Well, you look in the beginning of the third, they had a lot of nerves going at Mountain View being, and I hope that doesn't cost them the end of the game, that they are able to pull it closer, and then we see who comes up to win.
Sage Bradshaw with the basketball, spins around to Mandy Air on the wing, and as soon as the player gets the ball, they hold it and wait for someone to come out to guard him. Trying to get aggressive going into the lane. Dellinger came up with a steal, but Sage Bradshaw tied her up. Possession arrow, Lyman. What a big play there by the freshman. Sage Bradshaw came in and tied the ball up. Dellinger had it. She lost it for a second, and Bradshaw zoomed in.
Two very defensive-minded players that are so good.
Now that being Bradshaw and Dellinger, certainly. Hanson looking for Rose on the back cut. Tossed it over her head and out of bounds. Bryce points back and says, no, that wasn't you. That was me. Bailey Henstra checking in for Mountain View, but she'll have to wait a bit. The inbound had already gotten in. Haley Stevens across the timeline. Over to Georges on the left corner. Georges, bounce pass is taken away by Caroline. Layup is missed. Sage comes up with the board and a foul called. 1-and-1 free throws. Wait, hold up. Sage Bradshaw called with the loose ball foul on the rebound. So
she's shaking her head at that one.
Well, that's the second play that we've seen that's going to get the fans to the feet, and this one goes against Lyman. So does Mountain View have any energy to grow off of that? They're down by 6.
There's still plenty of time to make this up, but you do have to push the ball a little bit here.
125 seconds to play as the inbound comes in. Kylie Dellinger racing with it, trying to get it inside, does so, picks up her dribble, and is fouled by Sage. That's 2 quick fouls picked up by Bradshaw. That's her first 2, though. That's good news for Sage. Going back to that steal, Caroline came in, raced in, saw a weak bounce pass coming from Georges, stole it away, and then sometimes getting ahead of herself, missed the layup a little hard off the glass. That's something that a lot of players, when they're young, have trouble doing. They can make layups in the line, but when it's full game speed and you're racing, the ball goes hard off the glass because you're not accounting for your own speed.
Yeah.
Freshmen usually don't take physics. That'll come when she takes physics class.
Well, you
Force equals mass times acceleration.
Sure. You look at players around the state. I'm thinking of Brinley Jenkins in particular for Rock Springs, who's in 4A. But she, even as a freshman, just is able to control her body enough to be able to run at full speed, but then make that layup perfect in the end.
Dellinger made her first free throw on the 1-and-1, earns another. 43-38, shot is up and good. 43-39, 4-point game. Full court press on. Bryce Hanson has the ball. Stevens tied on her. Dellinger as well. Throws it up into the air. Stolen away by Jada Kennison. She shoots it, misses, picked up by Bradshaw. That's Caroline. Then she's hit by Katie Georges. Coach Moretti, that's her daughter out there, Jada Kennison. She looked right out to Jada and said, calm down, because that steal was great.
Yes.
But the shot was too soon. You got the ball back. Possession, the ball is golden, they always say.
Well,
hold up, set up.
She had an open lane that she could have even drove in a little bit farther, either have got the defense to come onto her and passed it around, or she could have gone up with the ball.
43-39, and Caroline Bradshaw to the free throw line. Nicole Peden replaces Charles C. Rose. 8 fouls for Mountain View, 7 for Lyman. 1:45 left. Shot up by Bradshaw is short. Rebound, Dellinger, and an immediate whistle. Early lane entrance by Mandy Air. Waved that off.
Well, it's a good thing it wasn't a make then.
Well, for Mandy's sake, she looks beside herself enough. No, a foul, never mind.
Oh.
A 4th foul on Mandy over the back. So here you go. Who's shooting? It's Kylie Dellinger. She just made 2.
Coach Hanson looks irritated right now.
I'm talking to the referee.
He doesn't get fired up a lot, but he's fired up right now.
Hey, this is an exception. Mountain View, Lyman. 43-39. Shot up by Dellinger is good. Clutch shooting. Is she 4-4 in the game?
No,
4-5?
She's shot 6 so far, or she will shoot 6. She shot 5 right now. She's made 3.
She's made 4.
Has she made 4?
Yeah, I have her 4 of 4.
Oh, I have her with more than that.
Dellinger with the second shot is good. 43-41. We'll leave that free throw discrepancy aside.
All right.
Because we got a good basketball game here. 1:40 left. Mountain View trailing by 2. Stevens pokes the ball out from behind of Ayers, but a foul comes in late.
And this brings everybody to their
A late
feet.
call there because it happened so quickly. Haley was being aggressive, and she's saying, how? How? She picks up her 4th foul on top of it. She came in front of her was Jada Kennison, in front of Mandy Ayers, stopped the ball. Haley came in racing from behind and punched the ball out from behind. And then Mountain View was getting ready to run, but because of the noise of everything, it took the referee's whistle a little while to be heard. Shot by Air is good. 44-41. That was a single bonus as well. That was the last single bonus. Haley Stevens looks tired out there. She's been playing most of this game despite playing most of it in foul trouble. 2 of 2 shooting, and Air makes it a 2-possession game, 45-41. 45-41. Dellinger inbounds to Casey Bugas. They put Haley off the ball on the wing. 1:30 to go. Bugas trying to get it to Haley. It's poked away. Caroline Bradshaw steals it into the hands of Mandy Air. 1:20 to go. Bryce Hansen guarded by Dellinger and Stevens. A timeout taken. Ooh, I thought it was a foul, and Haley's playing like there's no tomorrow on that. If she gets her 5th foul, she gets it.
She is. When that timeout was called, Bryce had just passed the ball out, and she looks at Coach Hansen. Dad. She was frustrated at that one, but now they have a timeout. They're able to take a breath and calm down.
We have a time to take a breath and calm down too, but we're going to keep it here. And that's, you got the 2 teams 6 miles apart, packed gymnasium, and people are still continuing to file in, or at least try to.
Yeah.
But that adds the fun, some more fun to it. The small town atmosphere. The Mountain View's coach has a daughter on the team.
Yep.
So does Lyman's coach.
Yeah.
And that comes into play in late game situations. Both of them have been involved in plays, and you see that mother-daughter, father-daughter relationship come out. It's fun to see it, though. It's a tough situation.
It is.
Because you've got to, as both the player and the coach, kind of set that aside.
Yeah.
And I've talked to the Hansons about this and Moretti about it as well. They try to just do, when it's home, we don't talk about basketball.
No.
When we're in basketball, nothing about home. It's just strictly on the court. I'm not your daughter. You're not your mom. Not until we get done, and then I'm just your mom. I'm just your daughter, or father and daughter.
Well, I think it's interesting. Bryce has an interesting situation where her mom's the volleyball coach, her dad's the basketball coach.
Oh, my goodness.
So you have sports constantly, but you're able to have a coach on both ends that is able to help you and train you, know what they're doing. So when you go home, you're able to work on your shot. You're able to work on these things.
She laughed at me when I asked about how her shot was created after she won the 3-point shot. She's like, 3-point contest, Flame Guard. She's like, my dad's been working on that since I was like 4. Lyman basketball. Mandy Air gives off to Caroline Bradshaw. 4-point lead for Lyman. 1:10 to go. Bradshaw over to the right side. Bryce Hansen has it on the wing, then back to Bradshaw. Sage stutter steps out to the right corner, turns around to her left, throws it over, just picked up by Caroline. Kylie Dellinger trying to get a play and a push out of bounds. Caroline stepped out on the baseline, but the call is a push on Dellinger for the reason being that she stepped out. So the foul is Dellinger's second, I think. Is that all?
Yeah, it is her all. That is it.
Just second on Kylie Dellinger.
I like this group that both Mountain View and Lyman have in right now in this situation. One for Lyman, that they have players that can control the ball, are being able to control it, keep it together, and being able to draw that foul and make those free throws when it comes down to it. On the other end, for Mountain View, they have players that are able to make plays and make those shots when it comes down to it.
First free throw good by Caroline. Second one misses. Ball on the ground, picked up by Bugas. Score is 46 for Lyman, 41 for Mountain View. 51 seconds to go. Mountain View needs some late contest magic here. Bugas spins around, and a timeout taken by Coach Moretti. Clock stops at exactly 45 ticks to go. We'll take a timeout. Fourth quarter, 46-41. Lyman leads Mountain View on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. We'll return on a First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley Basketball on MyLocalRadio.com.
Sometimes getting the whole family scheduled for a dental appointment is hard. Different days, different times, and then how do you pay for it all? These problems have been solved by Black's Fork Dental in Mountain View because we serve patients of all ages. It's easy to schedule the whole family on the same day, so you just make one trip. We accept most insurances, and if you don't have insurance, we offer an in-house discount so the whole family can have a healthy smile. Don't wait. Call today. Black's Fork Dental in Mountain View, 307-782-3630.
See both the Mountain View and Lyman cheerleaders out on the court. 45 seconds to go. Lyman breaks the huddle first. Referee coming out to give a warning to Mountain View to get back out onto the court as that buzzer just sounded. I think we just saw one timeout each left for Mountain View and Lyman. I'm not the best at hand signals from referees. I think that's what he was saying.
I didn't look, so I'm going to take your word for that.
All right. Haley Stevens inbounding here. See if maybe they try to inbound to her, inbound and have her come in and run and try to get open, but Sage Bradshaw staying close. Long three ball up by Stevens, just misses. Dellinger grabs the board and a jump ball called. Possession Mountain View. They trail by 5 points on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. 37 seconds left. Don't forget, this is just the first of two games. We've got the boys contest after this.
This is such a great atmosphere already, and then to bring the boys into it also, it's going to be incredible.
Bugis at the top, drives into the paint, floats it up, fouled into the free throw line. Emily Bugis has not scored today, but she heads to the line with 30.5 seconds to go and two very large free throws for Mountain View.
I love that spin move by Emily. That's one of my favorite moves to make, and she just drove in there, went around the defense, and then was able to go up. She didn't make it, but she was fouled.
Misses the first free throw. Emily Bugis on the year, a 55% free throw shooter. We mentioned Lyman shoots 51% from the line. Mountain View 9 points higher, 60% from the free throw line today, or on the season.
Coach Hansen just asked if he had any more timeouts, and they said no, and he just rolled his eyes in disgust and walked away. He wants a timeout right now.
I couldn't tell what the signal was by the referee, so I guess I was off. Emily Bugis makes her second, 46-42, still a two-possession game. Bryce Hansen to Sage Bradshaw, still in the backcourt. Dellinger uses her third foul to stop the clock at 25 seconds. 24.9 to be exact. Looks like we've maybe got some dancers coming in between games, perhaps.
Maybe. Seems like an interesting time to do that.
I would imagine. I would usually be halftime of the game. Maybe they're just watching and they're already dressed up. Seems
maybe
a long
there's
time
nowhere to sit, so maybe you'd have to stand.
Seems like a long time to be dressed.
Yeah.
Free throw number one by Sage is good. 47-45 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Georges and Kennison out, Henstra and Bugis in. 4 players to rebound for Mountain View. Everyone in Lyman, play it back. Behind the half-court line. Second free throw, no good. So Bradshaw goes 1 of 2. Mountain View ball, Dellinger. Henstra is fouled. Yes?
I had that as Sage's first miss on the day.
Yes.
Yes.
3 of 4.
Yes.
47-42.
Now it's on Bailey to make her free throws.
18.6 seconds left. Henstra to the line. Misses. And you mentioned free throws. Mountain View's been good in the fourth quarter. 7 of 9 from the free throw line, but a miss there. You need them. You always say you got to make them when you need them. This is when you need them. You always need them, but that's a big miss there. Timeout taken, and that's a full timeout. I think it was just signaled there.
They're all standing, so I would say 30 seconds.
We'll keep it right here. 18.6 seconds to go as the dueling cheerleaders come back out onto the court. You can see some, maybe you can see some Mountain View players doing the flips on that top of your screen there.
I can't do that.
I can't do that either.
I always wanted to. The ground was always too fearful.
You were.
I was fearful of the ground.
Yeah. I don't think the ground fears anything.
I don't think the ground does fear anything.
5-point game. Mountain View basketball and Bailey Henstra at the free throw line for one more. You see a defensive substitution coming in, provided a make of Katie Georges. She's sitting down to sub in for Bailey because they want the speed and the steal ability because they're going to need to play post game right now. They're going to foul or get a steal.
And I like this where you have Kennison in as well as Georges being able to be in there, as you said, steal the ball, foul, do whatever, keep up with the speed of the game that's going on.
You got Stevens, Bugas, Dellinger, Kennison, and then potentially Georges. That's your all steals team for Mountain View, and a timeout just got added to Lyman. So that's the reason that Coach Hansen did not like that call, is because his book had him with one timeout left, and Tim Harold just came out and corrected the scores table. I think they added one more timeout. 0 of 2 trip by Henstra, and the rebound by Mandier of Lyman. That may put the game on ice. 16.6 seconds left. And how many possessions left do you have if you're Mountain View? Maybe 1, maybe 2. It's a 2-possession game, though, and a free throw make here makes it 6 points. 2 puts it at a 3-possession game.
They're getting ready to have Casey Bugas check in. She currently has 4 fouls. You have Haley Stevens on the court that has 4 fouls. Someone's going to have to make another foul in this game, and who's it going to be?
Well, they need to get a shot up first, and it may not matter anyways. Mandy Air makes her first free throw. Like I said, she could put this game on ice here with another, make 3 possessions in 16 seconds. Almost unheard of with the way the clock works in high school basketball. Well, Lyman got their timeout back, and then they go ahead and put it to use. We'll keep it right here. It's another 30-second game. 48-42 the score on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. And been a fun one here today. The boys game coming up. We mentioned Lyman, just like the Lyman girls, below 500 right now, but a very exciting team.
Yep.
This Lyman boys team and Mountain View boys team, I see both of them as state contenders because there's so many teams on the west side. Mountain View's hung with them all. They very well could and should have beaten Worland. They were up 16 points at the half.
Yeah.
They very well could and should have beaten Lander. That's your number 1 and number 2 teams. They took Lander to double overtime as it was. And they didn't like their defensive effort in that game.
Yeah.
And they took them to double overtime. So that's the state contender. And Lyman, they haven't cracked the top 5. I don't think they've gotten a vote in the top 5 all year. But they have hung with everyone, especially as of late. It's a freewheeling, freelance offense that can score points in a hurry. Their defense is coming along as well. They're playing as a team. This is going to be an exciting contest between those two as well.
It is going to be.
Air makes her second. And it's a 7-point game, and the ball is out of bounds back to Lyman. 49-42, 15.4 seconds left. And it looks like Lyman is that 3-0 team halfway through the Southwest Conference season. Inbound to Gross, back to Air, 13 seconds left. Mountain View not fouling, maybe just letting it run out here. 8 seconds left, 7, Bryce Hansen, now they foul at 5 seconds to go. And that's a foul on Katie Georges, her third. Will not matter though, 5 seconds to go, the game is over.
I thought I heard Coach Moretti yelling hatchet, which you can't actually say foul in a basketball game. You have to yell hatchet. And I don't know if Georgia just didn't hear it or she was trying to get it in and it just wasn't working for her or what. But
we heard from Coach Moretti in the pregame, and we'll hear from Dustin Reese as soon as this game goes final. Both coaches talked about in this gymnasium, players can't hear their coaches on this game. Mountain View Lyman is too loud, so it's on them to know, and in that case, it was just a miss. But at the end of the day, not a very costly one. Hansen goes 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Kind of just icing on the cake. Lyman had taken the 3-possession lead, and probably not enough time anyways to come back. 51-42, 4 seconds left. Stevens throws the ball away to Gross, and the score goes final, 53-41 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Lyman starts the season 3-0 in conference. On the overall ballot, they're 10-10, back to 500 on the season. Mountain View picks up their 5th loss of the year and drops to 2-1 in conference play. We'll take a break now, come back with the pregame show for the boys, the Sawyer's Disaster Cleanup and Construction pregame show on a First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley basketball on MyLocalRadio.com.
It's human nature to think the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. That's not always true, especially when it comes to buying vehicles. This is Dennis Lynch, General Manager at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Dealerships pay the same price for new vehicles across America. The fact is, the best deals are right here, in your own backyard. The difference is that our employees are your neighbors, people you can trust. Please visit us first. Auto Farm Chevrolet. We are your community-driven dealer.
Super kids deserve super care. Experience the difference with board-certified pediatricians Alan Brown, MD, and Bird Gilmartin, MD, at Uinta Medical Group. Whether it's tracking your child's overall health at Well Child Checks or helping your little ones feel better when they're sick, Dr. Brown and Dr. Gilmartin are here to help your child grow, learn, and thrive. Schedule an appointment with Dr. Brown or Dr. Gilmartin by calling 307-789-WELL 9355 or visit evanstonanytime.com.
Post-game here, quickly, let's hand out the Dr. McKay Frankham Precision Plays of the game for, I'll take Mountain View. Kate, you take Lyman.
All right.
For Mountain View, I'm giving it to Kylie Dellinger. I thought she had a bit of a bounce-back game defensively, and she was 5 of 5 by my count at the free throw line. Maybe 5 of 6. I had one circled around. I don't know. Either ways.
I had her 5 of 6.
Yeah. Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah, then that's, I think there we go. Let's say 5 of 6, split the difference. 9 points and a few steals as well. Played tight defense.
She
did not get into foul trouble. I liked what I saw to her in an effort that fell just a little bit short for Mountain View today. Double digits does not do justice for how great this game was.
No.
Take it away for the Lyman side, Kate.
For the Lyman side, I really liked Sage Bradshaw at one point had a steal, and then she made the layup. That really changed the momentum of the game for Lyman. That I think
third quarter. Midway through the third quarter, yes.
Third quarter. It really changed the game. That they were already close as it is, but that's when they really kind of put the gas down and they were able to pull away and eventually get the win.
Adding up the final points here. Okay, we got them all. 16 points for Haley Stevens. We'll start with Mountain View. 9 for Kylie Dellinger. 9 for Bailey Henstra. 3 for Sadie Mitchell. 2 by Katie Georges and Casey Bugas. And then 1 point from Emily Bugas. For Lyman, 14 points by Bryce Hansen leads the way. And 13 by Mandy Air. 27 by that combo tonight. Charles C. Rose finishes with 6 points. 7 by Caroline Bradshaw. 6 by Charles C. Rose. 5 from Sage Bradshaw. 3 by Hadley Gross. And 5 all from the free throw line for Nicole Peden. Quickly, Kate, if you could, run us through the turnovers for both teams, split the turnover and then the shooting percentage, if you could, really quickly.
I would love to. For Mountain View, from the field, they were shooting 36% at the end of the game. From 2, they were shooting 39%. From 3, 27%. From the line, they bumped it up and they shot 61%. As far as rebounds go, they had 16 rebounds. They had 10 turnovers. They had 1 steal and a block. Lyman, they ended the game shooting 43% from the field. They had 43% from 2, 43% from 3. They were just 43% all around. They had 75% from the line. They had 17 rebounds. They had 8 turnovers. They had 8 steals and 4 blocks.
Well, that'll do it for our abbreviated post-game show here. And we'll jump into the Sawyer's Disaster Cleanup and Construction pregame show, abbreviated for the boys, about 12 minutes before the start of this contest. Let's start off by taking a quick break, and then we will come back with interviews by both Dustin Reese and Kevin Lewick on a First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley Basketball on MyLocalRadio.com.
Whatever you need, it's likely that Bradshaw's and Lyman can help. Whether it's windows at home or new glass in your car, truck, SUV, or semi, Bradshaw's has it. Tires? Yes. All vehicles, ATVs, semis, and more. Bradshaw's offers a 24-hour towing service for everything large to small. And the Bradshaw Fitness Center is open 24/7. There's more, so always call Bradshaw's first. Whatever you need, it's likely they can help. 307-787-3450. Again, that's 307-787-3450.
Hi, this is Chase Sawyer with Sawyer Disaster Cleanup and Construction. In addition to our cleanup and restoration services, we also offer new construction and remodeling. We can help with a newer kitchen, bathroom, a garage, deck, or a new addition to your home. We provide accurate, itemized estimates with no hidden fees or extra charges, and we complete each job to 100% of your satisfaction. Call us today at 307-741-7000. Sawyer Disaster Cleanup and Construction.
Now let's jump into the pregame interviews here. Hear first from Dustin Reese. Dustin Reese with me. Lander and Mountain View was quite the contest. Double overtime in Lander. It goes Lander's way, and I guess a lot of times they'll say that home court's worth a couple of buckets. Well, that's the difference that we had in that contest. What were your thoughts going up against that team, the defending state champs, for the first time this season?
We came out of the game with a ton of confidence, and we talked about maybe losing that game ended up being better for us than had we won that game. And when we watched the film, our defense was not up to par, and we held them to 50 in regulation and 65 in double overtime, which I think most teams would be happy with that against Lander, but our shifts were bad, and we did not play defensively near as good as we could have. But coming out of it, I think a ton of confidence. I think we know how good we could be. We've played the best two teams in the state, in our opinion, with Worland and Lander, and we hung with them. So we're really excited about where we could take us.
There was also the facet of the game, too, that Braden Watt got his first field goal with about 3-4 minutes to go left in the fourth period. So you got to those 50 points largely by a community effort from all guys on deck getting points where they could, because there was definitely a focus in on taking your number one shooter from distance out of the game. And I mentioned prior to the game, you came in the last three contests averaging something like 52-53% from beyond the arc, and that didn't end up being the case in this game. So where were those contributions coming from, and how did you feel about those guys filling in where they did?
Yeah, I think those guys did a great job, especially Luke Branson coming off the bench. We feel like he's hard to guard. And they did an excellent job on Braden, and he had to work as hard as he's had to work all year. And I think he needs to be a little bit better, a little bit mentally tough moving forward as people try to hug him and run him off the ball. But I think we just ran our offense, and we knew that Braden doesn't have to do all our scoring. We got other guys that can score, and I thought Braden handled it well. I think he needs to handle a little bit better moving forward, but super proud of balanced scoring. I think we had 4 or 5 in double figures, which first time we've done that all year.
I made a mention a couple of times after some layups by Luke that he reminded me of some old photos of George Gervin. If I told him that, would he just give me a dead stare?
That he would, as would I. So,
no, I mean, you know who George Gervin is, though, right?
I do not.
Oh, okay. Well, finger rolls. He made the finger roll famous from back in the ABA days. Anyways, moving along. Of course, this week is Mountain View Lyman, and the hype will be taking care of yourselves. You don't have to build this game up. Everyone knows what it means. Most importantly, it's the midway point of the conference season. As you look across the sideline to Lyman, what are you looking in that your team has to execute well against them?
Well, I think they're a completely different team than they've been in the past. Coach Luke's mixed it up, and they're going to try to press and run and I think create some chaos. And, we're not sure how they're going to defend us. Are they going to do what they do? Or are they going to junk it up a little bit? We're not sure, so we'll be prepared for anything he does. But it's a classic Mount View Lyman game in our gym. It'll be packed. It'll be fun. But we know how important it is because really you want to finish 1 or 2 on this side so you avoid Lander or Worland that first round. You'd much rather see them in a semifinal game. So it is a big game. Hopefully the kids have fun and everybody keeps their emotions intact and realizes it's a high school basketball game.
We know it's a 99% chance that this is going to be a close game. That's just how Mountain View Lyman games go, no matter how those teams go. A lot of your players on your team have been in a few of these contests before. How have you seen them, or how do you handle? There's got to be some variables that just happen in a Mountain View Lyman game that don't happen in other contests.
Well, I think especially in our gym, the kids have to do a lot of the stuff on their own because it is so loud and it is so hard to communicate on the floor with your kids. So they have to communicate with each other. We'll have to use hand signals to deal with the noise. But I just tell the kids enjoy it because very few kids get to play in an atmosphere like they'll see on Friday night. And so have fun, and let's see if we can beat Lyman.
Coach Reese, thank you.
Thanks, Jake.
We hope you're enjoying this MyLocalRadio.com exclusive broadcast of Bridger Valley Sports. We love being able to travel around the state to bring the action on the field or court back to you watching at home. Let's face it, doing all of this would not be possible without all of our great sponsors. We appreciate the support the following businesses and individuals show to both Mountain View and Lyman sports. Dr. McKay Frankham, quality dental care at affordable prices. Westar Printing in Evanston. No matter what you want printed, Westar is where you want it done. Reese Auto Service. From lawnmowers and snowblowers to cars, trucks, and semis, Reese Auto Service in Lyman does it all. Trona Valley Credit Union, member NCUA. Wyoming Dental Specialties. Make an appointment with specialist Dr. Vuig or Stosich by calling the Evanston office at Bear River Dental. Plains Tire in Evanston, Wyoming's oldest and largest tire dealer. Thank you to all of our Bridger Valley sports sponsors.
Coach Kevin Lewick joins me. It's been a couple of games since I've caught up with you, but there's been a lot of things that have happened. I remember talking to you during Pinedale after Alex Bradshaw's 24-point game, and he's really taken off ever since then. As a sophomore, you really said the sky was the limit for this kid as he's going to be learning to play within the varsity unit. What has adapted and allowed him to put the points up in the manner that he has from the first half of the season to what we've seen the last several games?
You know, he's always been a good perimeter shooter, but he's finally starting to be able to get to the rim and kind of turn corners. And I think as his ball handling and his confidence is kind of, strengthened, it's allowed him to be able to take advantage of situations that before he might have been passive toward.
How much has been confidence? Because so much of it was, I didn't see him taking many shots at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's been confidence, and I tell him that, every time that he has an open look, regardless of whether he feels like he's taking too many shots, he needs to shoot the basketball.
The last two games I remember doing is Wyoming Indian and Lander, two very exciting games, and two games that came down to just a couple of possessions in the end. 89-85 against Wyoming Indian. That was really, your team had put up 85 points the week before, but against a team of Wyoming Indians caliber, the defending state champions, that kind of showed that this team's really ready to get out and run and put up points with a high volume. And then Lander at 4 points. What were your thoughts on both of those games that ultimately ended up losses, but you were right in there?
Well, I think we're trying to figure out a way to, sometimes you can play to, not get beat. And I think down the stretch, we're getting in foul trouble, so sometimes you don't necessarily have our best players on the floor at the end of those games. And so, we're just kind of learning on the go. The last week we played three teams that are, ranked number 2 in the state, and so, we just need to learn how to win.
Against Lander, three of your main scorers in foul trouble with 4 fouls in the third quarter. How much of that was Lander and how much of that was correctable mistakes by the players?
Well, it's something that we need to be smarter about. I can understand that if we're possibly fouling in the lane or putting a body on somebody, but, when you're committing fouls 50 or 60 feet away from the rim, those are things that can be, abated and we can kind of avoid.
Now you have the contest against Mountain View this week, and it makes the halfway point of the conference season. For you, it's a big opportunity to get back and maybe get a tie for first with, I guess, after this, just 3 conference games left to go. And then, of course, for Mountain View, they're looking to corral that number 1 spot halfway through and make it tough for anyone else to catch them. This game is always so much more, though. So how do you handle the week in practice leading up to it?
Well, it's important to make sure that, from the coach's point of view, that we're not over anxious and we cause that anxiety in the kids, which for me is kind of a weakness of mine because I'm probably always too serious. And so this week it's just about, making sure that we're not being silly, trying to address, definite areas of concern like foul trouble, and then possibly just trying to mix things up so that, they're the most athletic team in the state, and so we have to try to somehow find a way to be able to combat with them.
Going back to that Lander contest, I noticed that Jet Dickerson ran a whole lot of point in that contest. From my vantage point, it looked like he was corralling the ball, and you had Andrew playing a little bit more out on the wing. Was that a matchup situation, or is that an involvement of the team?
Well, Andrew's ankle's been a little, sore on him, and so I think he just got a little tired toward the end of that game, and so we feel, confident in Jet bringing the ball up the floor, and, Andrew got in foul trouble, and so there are going to be situations that he has to be the guy.
And as you get ready for this contest, I guess you got so many young guys. You mentioned at the beginning, we were on the cusp, but you're just so young. How has this team grown up, though, throughout the season? Maybe on a couple of individuals you've seen they were doing this at the beginning of the year, and now they're not as much.
I think it's, they've just become hardened. They've matured. I think it's been, a situation in which because of, Andrew and, some of those kids that have played a lot of varsity minutes, being patient with those kids rather than, making them feel like, we don't want kids turning on each other. And so this has been a group that they're tight. They get along outside of school, and so it's allowed them to grow.
Coach Luke, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to both Coach Reese and Lewick as we are set for the Blacks Fork Timber. Starting lineups, Blacks Fork Timber located in Mountain View. Shouldn't expect any changes for this contest. As we mentioned, take a quick look at the standings in this game. Got a lot of implications. Do we have a three-way tie for number one, or is Mountain View out in front at 3-0 at the end of the night? Well, Lyman just on the girls' side took a 3-0 start to conference. Mountain View at 2-1. The starters for Mountain View: Braden Walk at point guard, Kimball Madsen at the 2 spot, Ashton Schofield at the 3, Hunter Meeks and Brigham Blumel in the post for Lyman. For Lyman, Andrew Housekeeper, Jet Dickerson, Carter Smith, Alex Bradshaw. You can put those guys however you want. I guess you'd say Andrew Housekeeper's the point guard. Rest of them, they're all guards. And then Preston Brewer, he'll play in the post, but he'll guard all over the place. And that's a curious thing that you and I were talking about today, Kate. Lyman is going to probably play a lot of zone, but do they consider boxing Braden Walk tonight? Because he is so much of this Mountain View offense.
Well, as you were saying, we were talking earlier, you said that when they played Lander, that's basically what they did.
They focused in on him, yeah.
They did, and it was in the fourth quarter that he finally got his first bucket of the game?
Yeah, he had 2 points from the free throw line prior, yeah.
Yeah, so honestly, I would say that's the best way to go. Box around Braden, don't let him score. Make Mountain View try to figure out how to get points elsewhere.
And then for Mountain View, they've got to look at the guy standing on the far side from our vantage point right now, Alex Bradshaw, tallest guy out on the court, 6'2". He has been as on fire as anyone in the state of Wyoming in basketball. He's had a peak of 31 points. He's been averaging 20 plus the last 5-6 games. He's the guy that they're going to try to get the ball to early and find an open shot. So if you're Mountain View, disciplined defense. Do not allow Alex out any open space. And on top of that, we found him a little bit susceptible to fouls at times.
Yeah.
Maybe try to force the issue. Go at him if he's your defensive matchup, go at him.
Yeah.
Or if you're on the defensive side of guarding against him and he tries to drive, stay in his grill. We saw him pick up 1 or 2 offensive fouls against Lander.
Yeah.
So looking at Mountain View and Lander, I have no idea what's about to happen in this game.
None.
But we should. I just saw Glade Erickson, our sponsor for the Bridger Valley Motor first quarter. He asked me, he said, "Are you ready for a barn burner?" I said, "I don't have a choice. It's coming whether I like it or not." And yes, we are, but we expect a fantastic contest today. That's your Blacks Fork Timber elongated starting lineups to start off the first period, brought to you by Bridger Valley Motor. Brigham Blumel and Preston Brewer to jump to begin this game. Blumel for Mountain View on the right side, Brewer on the left. And a jump so nice we almost had to do it twice. They'll go out of bounds, and I think it was last touch by Mountain View. Blumel got the swipe at it. Lyman in the dark blue jerseys. I guess more of a full blue color, not necessarily dark blue, but it's not quite royal blue either. Not quite navy, not quite royal. Somewhere in between, a little bit dull, but kind of metallic in a way as well. Andrew Housekeeper at the top of the key, tries a 3, misses it. Rebound to Mountain View in the white jerseys. Dark purple siding and dark purple numerals. Braden Watt calls out the play, puts one finger in the air to signify it. Out to the right wing, Ashton Schofield looks to Walk. Catch on the wing, Carter Smith guarding Walk right now, and look at this. We do have a box and one on Braden Walk, and Carter Smith is the player tasked with guarding Walk. Rebound by Housekeeper up ahead to Bradshaw. He'll back up, dribble through the legs, pick up his dribble. Andrew Housekeeper swings around right side to Jet Dickerson. Out to the corner, Carter Smith drops in a 3-ball to start off this game. Smith with the triple. I did not expect Carter to be that guy out there, but on that first play, he was the one. And now they're kind of still hanging out with that zone, and looked like Smith was sagging in a bit, but still a little bit up, shading towards Braden Walk. Foul puts Brigham Blumel at the free throw line. Okay, so you got the box on Braden. What's your next look? Down low.
Yeah.
Mountain View has the size and strength in the post, so now you go to what can be your next possible edge. And Blumel gets to the free throw line in quick fashion. Misses his first free throw. Blumel at the line this year, just 43 of 80. That's 54%. Scores 3-0 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board early on in this Bridger Valley Motor first quarter. Blumel makes the second, puts it at 3-1. If you got to check engine light, go down to Bridger Valley Motor and have Slim run through the diagnostics and see what's going on. Or if you need a tow anytime, day or night. Out left side, Bradshaw just misses the 3. Carter Smith comes up with the board, tosses it back outside to Bradshaw. Have to hold off on that read for a second as Lyman likes to run with it. Smith fakes the three, goes down low to Brewer. He lowers his head off the glass with the left hand, no good. 780-3280, the number to call. Glade Erickson, anytime, day or night, for a toe. Walk, doubled, and Bradshaw causes the confusion. Ball poked out to Meeks. He drops in a triple. Throws 3 fingers into the air as well. 4-3 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board.
Hunter's one of those players that he plays in the post, but he can hit threes from outside, and you got to be aware of that if you are Lyman.
Brewer gives it away off to Braden Walk, and you mentioned it. Hunter Meeks is one of those positionless basketball guys. Free throw line shot. Walk got past the defense, saw his opportunity, and drops it in from 15. 6-3 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Pass to the middle. Brewer up ahead, overthrows Jet Dickerson. 6-3 and a turnover back-to-back. Handled by Lyman. That's 2 free possessions for Mountain View, and that's setting the tone early on. Meeks takes the inbound and tosses it back to Braden Walk. You see 4 of them standing at the top. Walk takes the top of the key 3 before they even get out to guard him. Misses it. Blue Mel has the board. Out to Meeks by way of Madsen. He'll try a wing 3. Just misses, does Meeks. Preston Brewer on the rebound, up ahead to Housekeeper. Jet Dickerson on the near sideline, maybe the next look. Spinning around, Madsen tight on Housekeeper, up ahead to Brewer. Floating shot by Smith, no good. Rebound, Blue Mel. A zone at the top by Mountain View as well. Walk on the run. He'll stutter step off to the left. Madsen tries the corner 3. He's open, but airballs it. Rebound by Meeks, out to Schofield. Long 2 ball, misses short. Blue Mel with the pushback. Andrew Housekeeper was waiting under Blue Mel to try to get the board. Blue Mel grabbed it with his left arm and then tossed it up and into the hoop. 8-3, and Blue Mel flexes with his right arm as he walks to the bench after the timeout. Timeout Lyman, 8-3 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board on a First Bank presentation of Lyman and Mountain View basketball on MyLocalRadio.com.
A common thread no matter where you live in Wyoming is that if you're heading somewhere, it's probably going to be a while until you get there. A lot can go wrong on these long road trips across this great state. And if you ever find yourself broke down on the side of the road, it's time to call Glade Erickson at Bridger Valley Motor to come pick you up day or night. Bridger Valley Motor offers 24-hour towing services. If you need a tow, you need to call Glade on his cell phone at 307-780-3280. Bridger Valley Motor is here to pick you up if your lift ever lets you down. 307-780-3280.
8-3 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. All Mountain View early on. Lyman with the basketball. Andrew Housekeeper throws ahead to Braxton Bradshaw. McCoy Smith also entering into the game. Alex Bradshaw out of the game. And down low to Brewer. He turns around, tosses it back to McCoy Smith. Carter Smith, the other player, out for Lyman. No changes as of yet for the starting 5 for Mountain View, but Luke Branson will come in at the next dead ball. A steal away. Kimball Madsen out left side. Stutter step. Braden Walk dribbles in, then back out to the corner. Tries a 3, misses off. Picked up by Madsen on 1 hop off the hands of Braxton Bradshaw. Down low pass to Blue Mel from Walk. He'll go to work, and Andrew Housekeeper draws the charge. Oh, got it this game too. Number 10 guarding number 10. Luke Branson to check in. Let's see who he comes in for. Blue Mel picks up his first foul. Branson just awaiting the signal to come in. He replaces, and now he looks down to Coach Reese. He replaces Ashton Schofield. Branson had 10 points, I believe it was, in the first half in that loss to Lander last week. And
oh, really?
With Braden Walk not getting his offense going, Luke really stepped up. He's long, about 6'3", I would say, as a junior. He's found his, we got a turnover. Braden Walk plays the passing lanes against Andrew Housekeeper, comes away with it, throws it, has the ball knocked out of his hands, and Preston Brewer comes up with it. Brewer is not the guy you want under duress handling the basketball. He knows that. Gives it back to Jet Dickerson, then to Housekeeper. Housekeeper to the middle. Brewer bounce pass out left side to Dickerson. McCoy open on the corner, misses short. And the rebound to Brigham Blue Mel. Blue Mel, or make that walk rather, up ahead to Branson. He's picked. And 2 players for Lyman down to the ground. Housekeeper and Brewer tumble down, come away with the steal. McCoy Smith with the basketball. He just missed that short corner shot. He was open for a quick tick, and that's always a very difficult shot when you have half a second to do so. Brewer toes the sideline, throws a one-handed ball up ahead to Housekeeper, and that is an early candidate for the Dr. McKay Franken Precision Play of the Game. Maybe not a precise pass by Preston or to Preston Brewer, but he threw it and fired it going out of bounds. He tumbled into his own bench, or it was the Mountain View bench rather, and got the ball. Brigham Blumell skies above the rest on the other side, adds 2 on the board. 10-5 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Mountain View on top by 2 possessions. Housekeeper to McCoy Smith on the far sideline. Bounce pass down low to Brewer. Skip to Dickerson. Catch and shoot from the wing for 3. Good! 2 3-balls by Lyman. 2 for Mountain View as well. 10-8 the score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. We'll have an early entrance from Brecken Barnes late in this first quarter. Down low, Blumell's unguarded. Bradshaw comes in late and Braxton picks up the foul, but the tone's been set. There's no easy buckets tonight.
No. I did like what Bradshaw did there, though. He was able to skies up. He's probably 3 inches shorter than Blumell.
At least, yeah.
And he was able to skies up. Sky up?
Yeah, there you go.
And was able to get a hand on it, but unfortunately he did hit him in the process.
First free throw made for Blumell. He's 2 of 3 from the free throw line. And Braxton Bradshaw listed at 6'1". I have Brigham Blumell listed at 6'4". So, yeah, 3 inches of difference. Blumell on the second. Misses. Branson over the back of Carter Smith. Picks up his first foul. Looks like at some point I stopped filling out my roster for Mountain View. I don't think too many of those guys should come in the first half. I got all the numbers there.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was doing.
Oh, I noticed. I went to fill in missing pieces in mine, and I'm like, okay.
We'll figure that out at halftime. Those are guys that may get in, but probably not unless foul trouble happens. Andrew Housekeeper, older brother of Ashton. I'm on housekeeper number 3 and 4. Got to give me a break. Alex and Andrew were a couple of all-conference players from Mountain View. 3-ball missed short by Andrew. Brecken Barnes with the rebound. Up ahead, Braden Walk going from right to left. 2:20 left in the first quarter, brought to you by Bridger Valley Motor. Swing around right side. Hunter Meeks inside the three-point line, guarded by Smith. Finds Branson. Fakes a 3, drives in. The finger roll is good. I love the finger roll in basketball.
That was so pretty.
And at 6'3", he uses it well. I'll have to go back and show you George Gervin after this game. I've been trying to find someone in this place who remembers George Gervin, because that's what he reminds me of. Not that I was alive for George Gervin either. McCoy Smith splashes in a 3. McCoy on the board. 16-11 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Behind the back dribble by Braden Walk. Up ahead to Luke Branson. He loses his dribble. Braxton Bradshaw corrals it wisely, holds up, waits for his point guard. Up ahead from Andrew to McCoy Smith. He'll dribble out at the corner. No one's on him. Doesn't want the shot, gives it to his brother Carter. Up top to Andrew. Then to the free throw line. Bradshaw. Bounce pass out to Andrew, and then swing around left side. McCoy thinks about a corner 3. Smith. Left side, maybe to the right, close for Walk. He didn't opt to go for the passing lanes. Instead to Bradshaw. Alex Bradshaw 0 for 2 early on. Misses a little 4-footer. Braxton picks up his second foul on Luke Branson. Braxton Bradshaw predictably comes out. Jet Dickerson back into the game. 1:10 left in the Bridger Valley Motor first quarter. Kimball Matson and Brigham Blumell in. Brecken Barnes and Hunter Meeks to the bench. See if that moves Ashton Schofield to the post, or if they play Luke Branson down there. Looks like at the moment they've got Branson setting up in the post. I said 18-11, 13-11. I added it's too many points there, apparently. I think it's 16-something. 13-11, 2-point game on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Skip left side from the right to the free throw line. Branson has the ball stolen by Carter Smith. Smith on the run, up, off the glass, no good. Brewer can't get the putback. Schofield comes away with the basketball on the rebound. 45 seconds left in the first quarter. Braden Walk with the basketball, 13-11. Mountain View leading in the first period, brought to you by Bridger Valley Motor. Out right wing, Schofield takes it, corrals it, goes it, 2 dribbles with his left hand, then throws to the left corner. Walk above McCoy Smith, misses short on the 3-ball. Brewer out of bounds, and the ball stays with Mountain View. 27.8 seconds left in the first period. 2-point lead for Mountain View. They hold possession as well. Kimball Matson tosses up to Blumell. He's had a good first quarter, misses his first shot. The putback no good as well. Alex Bradshaw with the rebound. Jet Dickerson holding on to it. 19 seconds to go. Matson guarding him. Crossover right. Dickerson on his horse. Up ahead across the timeline. Out right side to Bradshaw. Then back to Dickerson. McCoy Thinks about a three, passes out right side. Bradshaw to Dickerson. He'll take a three, trying to get a second of the quarter, misses short. Bradshaw or Brewer and Blumel battling for the rebound. Jump ball with 1 second left. Mountain View basketball. 1.8. Hey, boys basketball, they could toss it in here and get a pretty good shot off from any point in the court.
Yeah.
13-11, Mountain View on top of Lyman. Branson to inbound. Finds Walk. He'll turn around and let the quarter expire instead. 2-point lead for the homestanding Mountain View Buffaloes on Rivalry Friday night against the Lyman Eagles. This is the First Bank presentation of Lyman and Mountain View basketball on MyLocalRadio.com. 13-11 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board.
Folks have many reasons to visit Casper, Wyoming every year, whether it's work, high school sports and activities, a romantic getaway, or business meetings. The best place to stay when you're in Casper is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. A beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, a pool, fitness center, and a fabulous indoor atrium. You can also reserve meeting rooms for your next event, and each stay includes an extended continental breakfast. Reserve your rooms today at the Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper, Wyoming. Call 307-472-6300.
It's human nature to think the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. That's not always true, especially when it comes to buying vehicles. This is Dennis Lynch, General Manager at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Dealerships pay the same price for new vehicles across America. The fact is, the best deals are right here, in your own backyard. The difference is that our employees are your neighbors, people you can trust. Please visit us first, Auto Farm Chevrolet. We are your community-driven dealer.
Second quarter is brought to you by Reese Auto Service, and we hope there's not a fire marshal in town because there are violations happening. Standing room only here at Mountain View High School. 13 points for Mountain View, 11 for Lyman. Lyman controls possession. Carter Smith loses his dribble, picks it back up. Branson stays out to start the quarter for Mountain View. Jet Dickerson with the basketball, hands off to Andrew Housekeeper. High dribble by Housekeeper, hand off to Smith. He'll step back on the right wing. Lose it for a second, poked out to the right corner. Catch and shoot from the corner. Housekeeper still looking for that 3 ball. Rebounded by Ashton Schofield. Braden Walk pushing the tempo. Bounce pass down low. Branson spins out. Walks open for 3. It's short though. Picked up by Dickerson. He's on the run. 1-on-3 disadvantage. He likes his odds nonetheless, and he hits it off the back left corner of the backboard. Ball picked up by Luke Branson. It's him versus Housekeeper. Missed the layup. Branson gets his own board. On the way up, he makes it and fouled. The foul on Carter. No, Preston Brewer. Two points for Luke. Makes it 15-11 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. He has 4 in the game. And 1 free throw, rattles around, falls out to the right. Preston Brewer on the rebound. Housekeeper with the basketball for Lyman. They're down 2 possessions, 15-11. Coach Luick's out on the court, almost approaching half court.
He's starting to lose his voice too.
Already, there's a long ways to go. Branson had the steal. Housekeeper picks it up, goes into the trees and draws the foul. It's one of the things that Andrew Housekeeper does the best, drawing fouls. Slashing into the lane. Who do they give it to? Kimball Madsen.
He had, 3 players down there, and they all skies up. They're great athletes down there, can jump like no tomorrow. And it was just a wall of guys in front of Andrew.
First free throw by Housekeeper is good. (15-12) on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. You got 3 points for Housekeeper?
I do.
He misses the second free throw. Rebound by Carter Smith, but is out of bounds. He throws it behind his back into the fan section. 3 ball. Housekeeper drops it in to tie the game at 15 all on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Tip away, Preston Brewer with the steal. Free throw line shot. Dickerson gives Lyman their first lead today. 17-15 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. That was a backcourt steal for Preston Brewer. Throw ahead, walk, dribbles it out of bounds, couldn't collect the pass. Coach Reese looks down to his team, says, "What are you doing?" to Kimball Madsen. Unfortunately, no one can hear him. That's how this game's going. I took my headset off at the timeout. Loud. It is loud here. As we mentioned, we got people sitting most of the rows up on the steps where you're supposed to be able to get up.
I was just looking at that. I'm like, there's no way. If you want to get out of that back to take a bathroom break, it's not happening.
Too bad.
You should have brought a cup.
We'll move along with that comment. 17-15. Jesse Fannis into the game. 5:58 left in the Reese Auto Service second period. Braden Walk with the basketball. Big screen by Madsen on Fannis. Hand off to Schofield, then to the top of the key. Look to Madsen on the corner. He's got the ball to Walk. Thinks about a three on the wing. Throws it out just in time to Madsen for the corner. Three, drops it in. 3-ball after 3-ball. Mountain View has 3 and Lyman has 4 in the game so far. Lyman has 2 field goals that have not been 3-balls, and Mountain View has 4. Brigham Blue Males had a nice quarter in that first. Housekeeper adds one more. Transition 3 and a deep one. Everything's falling from 20 feet.
That was a pretty shot by Housekeeper. He just walked up so calm and cool, and it just swished in.
Madsen over to the right side. It's Schofield. Jump stop. And the shot falls and one. Schofield was benefited by the fact that the defense there blocked the referee's view because he jump stopped and his feet came out at very different times. But the referee was blocked by a couple of Mountain View and Lyman players. He didn't have a view on that one. 5:07 left in the Reese Auto Service second period. Any engine, large or small, Reese can fix it up for you. Located in Lyman, 747-6450, the number to call. We came in through Lyman today. We drove past Reese Auto Service on our way in. 21-20 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. That and one good by Schofield, and a 1-point lead for Mountain View. This is the First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley basketball on MyLocalRadio.com.
When you have any mechanical problems, always think of Reese Auto Service in Lyman first. Doug and the mechanics at Reese Auto Service work on everything from your lawnmower and snowblower to cars, trucks, farm and ranch equipment, and semis. You can also get tires for anything you need at Reese Auto Service. Always visit Reese first. You'll get great pricing and quality-friendly service. Reese Auto Service, 541 Highway 413, Lyman.
21-20 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware scoreboard here at Mountain View High School. Lyman trying to force a 3-way tie halfway through in the 3A Southwest Conference. Mountain View sitting at 2-0 in the conference, trying to finish the halfway mark undefeated and that much closer to a number 1 seed. Lyman basketball, under 5 to play in the Reese Auto Service second. Deep 3 by Dickerson. Everyone's been hitting. He says, why not me? Misses there. He's made one earlier. He's 1 of 3 shooting from distance. Jesse Fannis hits Walk on the side of the head, and a foul call comes in.
You know, Dickerson, I would like him to see, when we see in the post, we look, and Brigham or whoever's going up, they always follow their shot. I would like to see Dickerson follow his shot a little bit more after he takes it.
20
instead of just walking away.
21-20. Mountain View on top end with the basketball. Luke Branson hands off right side to Meeks. He's standing on the U on the Buffalo on the far sideline. Walk comes out. Fannis stabs at the ball. It's all legal, they say. And then another slap at the basketball warrants the foul call. Braden Walk walks up to his student section and has a conversation with a few people before turning around and setting up to inbound. Foul number 2 on Fannis. He picked him up in a hurry. He stays in the game. That was foul number 7 for Lyman.
I think McCoy's coming in for him now.
I would imagine so. It's fun to see these players interact, inter-team, because you just don't see it. It's so rare that you have 2 teams of the same size, same conference, 6 miles apart. They're talking in between, like usually as you see teams talk to each other, it's everyone on the court talking to each other at all times. Walk misses his misses a single bonus free throw. 21-20, the score stays. Andrew Housekeeper with the basketball for Lyman. Out to Alex Bradshaw. He's been held scoreless so far. 0 for 2 from the field. Brewer drives in, has the ball knocked out of his hands. It's out of bounds. Last touched off his foot. Well, they've taken Alex Bradshaw successfully out of the game so far. He's had 2 shots. He really hasn't had any space either, and I'm sure the coaching staff for Mountain View saw all the open shots he's been getting and said he usually doesn't shoot unless he's got an opening. Stepped out of bounds. Braden Walk stepped on the sideline.
I thought that was going to be a call on McCoy Smith, but it turned out that he just kind of nudged Braden a little bit onto that line and got him out of bounds.
21-20 on the Benedict's Market and Ace hardware board. Housekeeper attacks. Screen right side from Brewer into the lane. Knocked out of bounds. Stays with Lyman off Kimball Madsen. Refs weren't taking the bait on the forced contact there by Andrew.
Not that time.
10 fouls and 7 of them going Lyman's way. They've certainly gotten into foul trouble at times this season. Bradshaw takes the inbound. Fires a wing 3. He's off to his left. Luke Branson had the board. Housekeeper grabs it. He's fouled. No shot, though. No shot. It's on the ground. And that's just team foul number 4 for Mountain View. So we have an inbound. Branson had the board. He lost it for a second, and Andrew Housekeeper is nothing if not opportunistic. He took it, ran with it, threw a shot up, and got contact drawn. Branson picks up his second foul. Bradshaw at the top, throws out left side, and they say good defense there. There was no one touch. No! Called a tip off of Kimball Madsen's hands.
Huh.
I thought it was going to maybe be a foul on a little push. He was really tight there. I didn't know if it was anything.
Yeah.
But they say it was a tip. All right, 21-20 still. 3:42 left in the Reese Auto Service second period. Andrew Housekeeper working with the basketball. He's got a double screen to his right. Goes to that way. Brewer collapses into the post, tries to throw something up against Meeks, no dice. They've also negated the impact of Preston Brewer with the size today defensively. They've stayed on him. He's gotten nothing open, and Mountain View's been quick running back to stop them from getting open shots in the lane. Brewer rejects Hunter Meeks, gets his own shot back out to the left side. 3 ball by Madsen, no good. Schofield on the board. Up top, throws it a little errantly. Meeks picks it up top of the key. 3, no good. Rebound, Schofield had it. Knocked Housekeeper down to the ground. No foul called there. I think Housekeeper may have re-rolled his ankle. Maybe not. Maybe he was just slow getting up. I don't see any limp out of Andrew. Either way, it's Lyman basketball after the ball was tipped out of bounds by Mountain View. Under 3 minutes to play in the first half. 21-20. Double screen, wait for Brewer to collapse down low. Hand off to Bradshaw from McCoy Smith. He'll give it back to Jet Dickerson. 2:47 as Dickerson drives to his right. Gives off to Housekeeper. Deep 3 from the wing is off left. But into the hands, well, it was to the hands of McCoy Smith. He throws it up and fouled by Hunter Meeks. I think that's Hunter's first. I've got all 4. If that's team foul number 5 maybe, though. See how quick they were to the trigger. Yeah. So I've got all 5 fouls for Mountain View accounted for. That's Hunter Meeks' first. 2 fouls on Luke Branson. He's the only player with multiple fouls. McCoy Smith misses the free throw. Smith, just a freshman and a transfer in from Rivalry, Idaho. He's been a big get for this Lyman team this year off the bench.
Well, his brother was the quarterback.
Brother was a quarterback in all conference. I think maybe an all-state selection. Can't remember. I know Hagen Lambert was all-state. I think Carter was as well. McCoy goes 1 of 2 from the free throw line. McCoy caught a touchdown pass toward the end of the game against Cokeville in a game that Cokeville won, but it was an exciting play as Carter throwing to his younger brother. 21-21, tied up, and timeout taken in the Reese Auto Service second period. We will take it with them. Be back in 30 seconds on a First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley basketball on MyLocalRadio.com.
When you have any mechanical problems, always think of Reese Auto Service in Lyman first. Doug and the mechanics at Reese Auto Service work on everything from your lawnmower and snowblower to cars, trucks, farm and ranch equipment, and semis. You can also get tires for anything you need at Reese Auto Service. Always visit Reese first. You'll get great pricing and quality-friendly service. Reese Auto Service, 541 Highway 413, Lyman.
21-21 on the Benedict's Market and Ace hardware board. We've gone to standing room only to sitting on whatever spot you can find. It is flat out packed here at Mountain View for rivalry night. Mountain View Lyman tied in the second quarter. Ball thrown down low to Brigham Blue Mel. Goes off the backboard as it was tipped in the air. Andrew Housekeeper comes away with the steal.
That's his third steal of the day.
He's on top of those steals he's in the top 10 in the region. We'll take a look at that over the break. But Andrew Housekeeper's been getting steals all year long. 3-ball tried and missed. Put back by Brewer, no good. Foul comes in late. Puts Preston Brewer at the free throw line. Kimball Manson was upset with that. It goes against Brigham Blumel. Blumel's second, 6th team foul, so the foul counts evened up here late in the second period, brought to you by Reese Auto Service. Brewer can take this tie game and give his team a lead. Does that.
What is Brewer sitting at from the line this year?
Well, he's 1 of 1 today, and on the season, Preston Brewer is a 56% free throw shooter. He's been swallowed up. That Mountain View defense has contained him. I've got to give credit to the way Mountain View's been containing the breakout scores for Lyman, being Brewer and Bradshaw. They've taken both of them out of the game offensively. Second free throw missed, and it's Mountain View ball. Schofield going from right to left, gives it to Madsen on the left wing. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Bradshaw on Madsen. Walk, guarded by McCoy. Smith comes away with a near steal. Madsen just picks it up. Throws it over to the left corner. Meeks down low to Barnes. Ball stabbed at by Brewer. Kept inbounds and picked up by Alex Bradshaw. Well, Brewer's got, I think we can say he's going to one way or another get the Dr. McKay Franklin precision play of the game for the Lyman on his hustle on that Lyman side. Out right side, McCoy Smith to Bradshaw to the free throw line. Brewer pushes it up and good. Preston Brewer gets the fruits of that turnover that he saved from going out of bounds. We'll have to give out 2 Dr. McKay Franklin precision plays of the game, at least 1 for each side of our broadcast. Braden Walk on the left corner, stabs, starts to drive in, out left wing, pulls up for 3. Swish! It in! Tie game 24-24 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Oh, students are running out and they have to get out quick because there's basically fans spilling out onto the court here. Some fans were trying to get across the scoreboard there. Barely got out of there. Jet Dickerson fakes a deep 3, walked with it, but it goes uncalled. May have just kept his foot down on the ground. McCoy Smith, 46 seconds, left side. Now a deep 3 by Dickerson, misses short. Rebound by Hunter Meeks. 40 seconds to go. 24-24. Madsen fakes a 3 out to the corner. Schofield drives baseline, got a step on Brewer. Float shot up, just misses. Barnes throws the ball out, down to the ground. Carter Smith comes away with it, tosses it off to Dickerson. He goes down low, muscles it down, and then will take it across with 20 seconds left. 24-24 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. One-handed throw by Dickerson, just picked up, and a swing by Braden Walk from behind against McCoy Smith goes uncalled. Players tumble to the ground and a jump ball called. Goes Mountain View's way. Kevin Lewick is livid.
All of Lyman's livid. That should have been a foul on Braden.
Well, it was a swipe from behind. Mountain View got away with one there. 9.7 seconds left in the first half. Mountain View basketball. Walk lets it bounce twice, picks it up, runs with it across the timeline at 7 seconds. Jump stop out left side. Walk is called for the walk.
His name needs to be Trey in this situation.
Yes, so that we don't have that. Yeah, so we can take that away. Yeah, I get what you're saying. 4 seconds left. Andrew Housekeeper on the left sideline pulls up and is fouled at the 3-point line by Ashton Schofield. Oh, I hope you're all watching that play because Schofield topped on him, and then Housekeeper does what he did. He just barrels in with a full head of steam and says, ooh, contact. Well, let me up the ante a bit here. It is a hard guard. He's big, he's strong, and he throws himself at the defender.
I couldn't do that. I would be too scared for my body.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
I think it's 3 free throws. Housekeeper makes the first. Schofield was playing tight defense because the senior has been known to hit those from anywhere on the court. He got up and he got a hand on the ball, but the next thing you knew, he was like Housekeeper was under his elbow and then under his, because he just throws himself right at that, the sign of contact.
Yep.
Housekeeper makes the second as well. There's a lot of players out on the court today, both sides, where it's like, how can you not love the way they play basketball?
You got to credit the Mountain View defense. They forced Lyman to find other ways to score in this game.
Yeah, and they've gone back to old reliable and Andrew Housekeeper. He's the guy when everything else isn't working. He can calm you down defensively, offensively. He gets a foul drawn at the end of the first half, and Mountain View, as a result, trails on their home court heading into the third quarter. 27-24 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. We'll be back with halftime coverage next on a First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley, the battle for Bridger Valley on MyLocalRadio.com.
Serving Wyoming since 1941, Plains Tire is Wyoming's oldest and largest tire dealer with great locations throughout the state. They'll get you the right tires and offer the best results for your vehicle at the lowest prices, guaranteed. Plus, you can go to any Plains Tire Pro dealer with their nationwide warranty service. And check out their Plains Tire phone app.
Come down and see us at Plains Tires on 157 Bear River Drive for all your automotive needs. Hablamos también español.
Light up your world with a custom-built LED sign from Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. It's a proven fact that signage that lights up creates more attention. So light it up and then add text, images, and video, and your sign becomes even more powerful. Start sharing your advertising messages and information with your customers today. The team at Rocky Mountain Sign provides all types of quality signage that is custom-built and maintained. Call today for a free quote. Rocky Mountain Sign, 307-789-5202. Rocky Mountain Sign, serving customers in Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho.
At Trona Valley Federal Credit Union, we know our members by name and we love working with them face-to-face. But did you know that members can also handle almost all banking online? Everything from managing your accounts and paying bills to applying for all types of loans. It's simple and we're happy to help you get started. Join Trona Valley Federal Credit Union today. We're a caring partner dedicated to your financial success. TronaValley.com, member NCUA.
When do you schedule doctor appointments?
In bed before I fall asleep. In the car waiting to pick up my kids.
We can even do it after breakfast.
We all lead busy lives. Online appointment scheduling puts you in control. In just 90 seconds, you can make an appointment with a primary care provider or specialist at evanstonanytime.com. Select the day and time most convenient for you. Enter some basic information, and just like that, you're scheduled for care. Schedule appointments for next day and beyond at evanstonanytime.com.
When you have any mechanical problems, always think of Reese Auto Service in Lyman first. Doug and the mechanics at Reese Auto Service work on everything from your lawnmower and snowblower to cars, trucks, farm and ranch equipment, and semis. You can also get tires for anything you need at Reese Auto Service. Always visit Reese first. You'll get great pricing and quality-friendly service. Reese Auto Service, 541 Highway 413, Lyman.
At the half, it's 27-24 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Start with the team leading Lyman. 12 points by Andrew Housekeeper. He got the double digits off of a hotly contested final possession of that game. Ashton Schofield got called for his first foul, topping on the ball, and Housekeeper, hey, he drew the contact. Schofield, to his credit, you got to play tight defense on him.
Yeah.
And he was in a position where he could make it. But it's funny to watch Housekeeper as he can almost like move in the air horizontally. Like he's up and then he can just shoot forward, and that's kind of how he got that foul. 12 points for him. 6 by, that's not right. I have Braxton Bradshaw with 6. That's not right. McCoy Smith hit that 3, not Braxton Bradshaw. Do you have 6 for McCoy?
I don't. I have 4 for McCoy.
4 for McCoy. I think I've got. What do you got Preston Brewer with?
I have Preston Brewer with 2, 5,
6.
6.
There you go. There you go. Preston Brewer is the guy who he doesn't have a 3 though. How did he? I don't know what's going on.
I have him with a 3.
You have Preston with a 3?
I have Preston.
He doesn't have a 3.
No?
No, he doesn't have a 3.
All right. Well.
McCoy Smith has a 3, and Carter Smith has a 3.
Oh, I
Jet
misattributed that.
Okay. Well, I misattributed Brad. I don't think Braxton Bradshaw scored. He's been sitting with those 4 fouls. But, well, my points are kind of messed up now that I look at them. What do you have Preston with now?
I have Preston with 3 now.
Okay, so that would be the bucket that went there. So then, yeah, I've got Preston Brewer with 3 points. McCoy Smith with 3, or do you have him with 4?
I have him with 3.
Okay, so 3, and I may have just, I have free throws somewhere that I needed to add. I've got Housekeeper with 12. You have Housekeeper with 12?
I 22-6. Yes, I do.
Okay. Jet Dickerson with 5 off of 3 and a 2. Carter Smith with just 3. And, let's see if that adds up. 12, 17, 20, 23, 26. Yeah, there's an extra free throw that we're missing. I have Housekeeper as 4 of 5 from the free throw line.
Yes.
Preston Brewer 1 of 2.
Yes.
And then there's 2 more free throws that were shot. One of them was made. Do you have any more free throws anywhere else?
I don't. I think you missed I am McCoy Smith with 1.
Okay, there he goes. I just wrote, I thought it was him.
Oh, okay.
You said, yeah, okay. So there we go. 4 points for McCoy Smith because he has a 3
yes.
and a, well. All right, there we go. Figured that one out. So I didn't think it would be that hard, but it sure was. Let me run you through it one more time. Andrew Housekeeper, 12 points. Jet Dickerson, 5. Carter Smith, 3. Preston Brewer with 3. And 4 points for McCoy Smith. For Mountain View, a balanced scoring attack to get to their 24 points. Braden Walk with 6. 5 from Brigham Blumel. 4 points from Luke Branson. And then 3 points from Kimball Madsen, Ashton Schofield, and Hunter Meeks. What do you have percentage-wise for us?
Percentage-wise, shooting from the field for Mountain View, they're sitting at 41% compared to Lyman, who's shooting 32%. When you break it down a little bit further for Mountain View, they're sitting 42% from 2, 40% from 3, 33% from the line. They have 16 rebounds, 11 turnovers, and 1 steal. When you go to Lyman, they are 30% from 2, 33% from 3, 67% from the line. They have 10 rebounds, 5 turnovers, 8 steals, and a block.
And that's the difference. We came into this game and we said Mountain View shoots a higher percentage.
Yes.
But Lyman makes more shots, and it's the extra possessions that they've got and taken advantage of. You said they're shooting 41%. Mountain View is to 32% for Lyman.
Yes.
Well, if the turnovers continue for Lyman, then this is looking good. If Mountain View starts to shore it up, they're going to need to get a little more accurate from the field.
Well, you said Lyman shoots more. They've shot 15 threes compared to Mountain View shooting 10. Mountain View's made 4 of those, and Lyman's made 5 of those. There's your extra 3 points.
And there's your extra 3 points. Yeah, that's the difference in the game. They have more shots.
Yes.
That's Lyman's motto, more shots, lots of shots. Mountain View's taken pretty good care of the ball this year, but let's go back to that top of that screen there to see at the comparison of the two. Mountain View averages 13 turnovers per game. They're already at 11.
Yes.
So that is playing in Lyman's favor at the moment, but love the defensive effort of Mountain View. They've held they've held Alex Bradshaw scoreless. Preston Brewer has 1 field goal and 3 points. It's been Andrew Housekeeper. So we'll see how they come out in the second half with that. We got to take a break here and come back with the second half. Third quarter coming your way next, 27-24. On the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board, Lyman with the lead over Mountain View on a First Bank presentation of the Bridger Valley Battle on MyLocalRadio.com.
A common thread, no matter where you live in Wyoming, is that if you're heading somewhere, it's probably going to be a while until you get there. A lot can go wrong on these long road trips across this great state. And if you ever find yourself broke down on the side of the road, it's time to call Glade Erickson at Bridger Valley Motor to come pick you up, day or night. Bridger Valley Motor offers 24-hour towing services. If you need a tow, you need to call Glade on his cell phone at 307-780-3280. Bridger Valley Motor is here to pick you up if your lift ever lets you down. 307-780-3280.
Sometimes getting the whole family scheduled for a dental appointment is hard. Different days, different times, and then how do you pay for it all? These problems have been solved by Black's Fork Dental in Mountain View because we serve patients of all ages. It's easy to schedule the whole family on the same day, so you just make one trip. We accept most insurances, and if you don't have insurance, we offer an in-house discount so the whole family can have a healthy smile. Don't wait. Call today. Black's Fork Dental in Mountain View, 307-782-3630.
Buying or selling is a simple process if you're working with the right real estate agent. This is Bobby Dalzall, broker with Big Country Properties. We have agents serving both Lincoln and Uintah counties that can assist you with all of your real estate needs. We are the top listing and selling brokerage in the Bridger Valley and strive to be honest, hardworking, and thorough. Whether buying or selling, we make it happen. Call us today at Big Country Properties, 307-782-3556.
27-24 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Final 18 seconds of the half before we get 8 minutes put onto the clock. Lyman and Mountain View walking back out. We mentioned the turnovers for Lyman. Defensively, they've caused 11. That's within 2 of Mountain View's per game average.
Yes.
And they've had just, 5 turnovers themselves?
Yes, 5.
That's looking good for them. Mountain View buckling down defensively and shooting a good percentage as they do. They're out shooting Lyman. So this game, 2 quarters in as we start back up, nothing's been decided. Alex Bradshaw to Jet Dickerson. Lyman basketball to start the quarter. Andrew Housekeeper out to the right corner. Carter Smith back to Housekeeper. Andrew had 12 points in the first half. Dickerson tries a wing 3. Good! Jet Dickerson with his second 3-ball of the day, and it's 30-24. Don't imagine any lead to be safe for long, though. 2 possessions or not. Mountain View has been able to come back and get 3 balls after 3 balls of their own. This time they go low, get it the old-fashioned way, says Brigham Blue Mel. He is strong in the post today. You can see his moves. He's a player who's aggressive, but he's got good basketball instincts as well, because that's a drop step. Put yourself, force the contact, and then finish to get the and one opportunity.
Well, he's not that tall, so he has to use those old-fashioned post moves that a lot of times you don't see players using nowadays. That is, I'll just use my height and go up.
Man, if he's not that tall, I don't want to talk about what I am. 30-27, 3-point play, the old-fashioned way, converted. Carter Smith had a little low-lay defense, goes in, rejected. Ball on the baseline and just knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Lyman. Carter Smith, slow to get up. He got hammered. That was on the. It was a clean play, though. That was just a good block. He got to go all the way around, and then the defense, I think, was baiting him in and then just rejected the shot. Not sure if that was Meeks or Blue Mel who got a hand on it. Maybe both of them.
Blue Mel.
Braden walk across the timeline. Ashton Schofield on the right wing. 1 minute gone by in the third period. Kimball Matson calling for it on the left corner. Gets it. Shoots. Shot up and good. Tie game. Kimball Matson has 2 triples in the contest as well. Kimball on the season, he does not have a high per game average. He's already surpassed it. Averages 4.5 per game. Jet Dickerson with the basketball. McCoy Smith made a very quick entry into the contest for his older brother Carter after he got thrown down to the ground. Alex Bradshaw hands off to McCoy Smith. 30-30 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Bradshaw tries it from the free throw line, extended, no good. The family of Bradshaws to the left of us will have to wait a little bit longer. Housekeeper comes away with a steal and puts it back up, 32-30. Saw them rising to the ground. They're just waiting for him to hit one. It's been good defense. Mountain View has not given him any opportunities from outside, because when he's open, he hits. And now I think it's in his head. Braden walked to take the lead, misses the 3-ball. Schofield, a tough rebound, but he's down and hurt. His limping off. I think he's okay. I think it was a little, I was scared because he grabbed his knee initially. I think it was more of a stinger, though, in that knee as he walked off.
You hope so, and he's just not a tough dude.
Yeah, well, they all are, and he's limping off now, trying to walk it off. May have been an ankle as well based on how he's limping there. He skied up to get that rebound. Housekeeper over to McCoy Smith, then to Dickerson. Dickerson on the right wing. Bounce pass back to Housekeeper. Skip to the right corner. McCoy looking down low. Throws an errant pass picked up by Braden Walk. Kimball Matson corrals it. 5:40 left in the third period. Out to the right corner. Then to low to Blue Mel. Looks to Meeks. Taken away. Brewer on the run. Full head of steam for Brewer. He takes the layup in. Tied up once again on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. 5 points for Preston Brewer. Hey, remember when it was half and I didn't know who scored it all?
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for helping me figure that out.
You're welcome.
Blue Mel goes up, just misses Duncan. I think he could have just opted to get that little layup there. 7 points for Blue Mel, 34-32 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. Mountain View still down by 2 points. Housekeeper to Dickerson, lost the ball. It's on the ground. Brewer saves it, but then it's into the hands of Matson. Branson up, guarded from behind, gives off to Blue Mel. 2 more points. No, it's too hard. A late whistle blown and a foul. Who's it on?
I don't know.
On Andrew Housekeeper.
That's
is the call there.
Second, right?
Yeah, it's just second team foul and second foul for Housekeeper. A lot of bumping going around for both of these sides. They let a lot go. There's not been a high foul count. I think 13 in the first half. I think not high considering all of the play that was allowed to go through for both sides. These refs know this is a rivalry game and this outplays. Branson charge on Smith. Is that Smith down there? Someone's down in pain.
I think that's Housekeeper.
That's Andrew Housekeeper, and he is on the ground. He sacrificed his body, and he's still down.
He's just holding his face right now.
I think he may have, I don't know if he hit his head or what, but he took the charge. 4:45, the clock stopped. Lyman leading 34-32.
That did give Luke his third foul.
Yeah, that give Luke his third foul for Lyman, though. That's the player you can absolutely not lose.
No,
Sure.
especially right now. Mountain View's taken Alex completely out of this game.
Well, yeah, and even in that case, Alex doesn't have these games that he's had without the point guard play of Andrew Housekeeper. And he is in pain walking off. I didn't see. He may have hit his head, and it looks like he's got quite a headache going on right now. But he also looks like he was limping a bit.
I think he limps because of his head.
Jet Dickerson into the game, or takes the ball. Carter Smith replaces Housekeeper into the game. McCoy Smith dribbles it off his foot. Down low to the ground. Hunter Meeks corrals it, throws it through the hands of Schofield. Alex Bradshaw picks it up and gives it off to Dickerson. Swipes through. Dickerson gives off to Bradshaw. Catch and shoot from the corner. 3! 37-32 on the Benedict's Market. And
I
Ace
knew
Hardware
Brewer
board.
had to have a 3 today.
That was Dickerson.
What was that? Darn it. Never mind.
Well, we'll resume to the game after
Please
that
do.
brief commercial break. Kimball Matson to inbound for Mountain View. Braden Walk with the basketball. You want me to mute you for a bit and recollect yourself?
Nope, we're good.
Schofield to Kimball Matson. Over to the left wing. Braden Walk at 4 minutes left. Out to the corner. Schofield wants a 3. Ooh, misses short. Brewer with the board. Running with it. Past Matson. Layup missed. Rebounded by Blumel. Walk goes to the sideline and dribbled it just on the purple on the far side to give it back to Lyman. It's the second or third time that's happened today for Braden. I don't think I've seen that happen all season. This court feels shorter, and I think
it does.
It's the crowd breathing down on top of you. Shot out on the right side, and a foul comes in. Do we have 3 free throws upcoming?
I think we got another 3 coming up.
It's on McCoy. Or no, excuse me, it's on Braden, and Carter Smith is to the line for 3 shots. It's the first foul on Walk. Inspired play by Lyman right now with their senior point guard leader out of the game and in the tunnel. Carter makes the free throw. He hit a triple to start the game.
He did. Hopefully Carter and Andrew look a lot alike. Hopefully maybe he can channel some of that, come through. He already has 2 out of his 3 made.
39-32. One more free throw upcoming. 3:47 left. Misses the third. Brigham Blumel with the rebound. Loose ball. Brewer and Blumel to the ground. Alex Bradshaw joins in on the party. Jump ball, and it's going Mountain View's way. 3:42 left in the third period. Full court pressure on for Lyman. Ashton Schofield back to Madsen. To the near sideline. Walk. Dribbles to the middle. Tosses up to Madsen. They throw it across. Schofield on the left wing. Tosses right side. Walk. Quick step to the elbow. Shot up. Missed short. Tried to follow his shot, but it went back to where he was. Bradshaw on the run against Madsen. And a rejection by Kimball Madsen in the air. Picked up by Lyman, though. How about that on-ball defense by Madsen?
He has his game face on right now.
Deep 3 missed by McCoy, and Blumel had the board. A foul drawn over the back on Preston Brewer. Madsen, it looked like he was thinking about what to do. He thought, well, I tried to take a charge, and he decided I'm going to go straight up and try to reject the ball, and he slapped it right back at Alex. Euro step, left-handed floater by Ashton. Schofield drops in. 5 points for Schofield. That was the second foul on Brewer, by the way. 2:57 left in the third period. 39-34 on the Benedict's Market at Ace Hardware board. Alex Bradshaw to the top, throws right side to McCoy Smith. He'll hand off to Carter Smith. Over right side, McCoy on the basket. Drives in, bounce pass left corner, catch and shoot from the corner. Dickerson misses long. Braden Walk with the rebound. Tail toss up ahead, a loft up to Kimball Madsen. Madsen to the corner. It's Hunter Meeks with the basketball. 2:30 left in the third period. Bounce pass into the blocks. Blue Mel against Brewer. He goes up. Ooh, grazes the rim as he skies up and lofts it into the hoop. What a great game for Brigham Blue Mel. He is getting the offense going. 4 points in the quarter, 9 in the game. Balanced scoring by Mountain View today.
I would say by both sides it's been very balanced.
It had to be. They're guys, their number 2 option or number 1 just isn't pouring it in, or now Lyman playing without housekeeper. Brewer out left side. Carter Smith with the 3, and off the ball foul would negate that shot anyways. I think it's number 3 on Brewer, yep. Preston Brewer's third foul, 39-36. Braxton Bradshaw comes in. He picked up 2 quick fouls back in the first half. Another child racing across the sidelines to get out of the way of the play. Schofield up ahead to Blue Mel. He's hit hard. Foul by Carter Smith, I think, and he comes out and says no hard feelings.
I would have liked to have seen Carter try to take a charge there. He knew that he was coming in. Set your feet and take the charge.
Blue Mel to the line for 2 shots. 1 possession game can become 1 point game. Shot in by Blue Mel. He's 1 of 2 from the free throw line, now 2 of 3. 54% on the season, as we mentioned, coming into the game. Shot number 2's well short. Good box out by Braxton Bradshaw and Kimball Madsen. He carried with it and got the board away. Jet Dickerson across the timeline. Lyman in the blue jerseys, Mountain View in the white. And a 10-second clock called. Dickerson had a foot in the backcourt. Gives it back to Mountain View. How about this for a momentum shifter potentially?
Players make mistakes, but that was a rough mistake for Dickerson to make, especially right now.
39-37. Braden Walk gets it across in about half a second there. He only had about 2 steps to go. Schofield to the left wing, 1:35 left, out to the corner to take the lead. Braden Walk splashes it in from the left corner. 40-39 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. 9 points for Braden Walk. Right side, Dickerson fakes a 3. Back to Carter Smith. Hand off to Alex Bradshaw. Still scoreless in the game. 0 for 4, I think, in the contest. Out left corner, Carter Smith takes a pass, dribbles it off the baseline, loses control of the dribble. Brigham Blue Mel on the run. Poked out of bounds by Bradshaw. Well, he did that to keep the layup from coming in. Did not foul either. How about this, Alex Bradshaw? I didn't think we'd see a game the rest of the year the way he'd been playing. Scoreless with a minute left in the third period. Mountain View with the lead and the basketball. Toss up from Madsen on the inbound. Walk gets a step out right side. Kimball to extend it from the corner. Another 3. The 3 balls are flying in, and Mountain View came in and said, I guess we have to play this game with Lyman. And they have matched, and I think at this point exceeded the triples in for the game today. Braxton Bradshaw for a 3. Follows his shot, hits Meeks in the back. Nearly got the turnover as a result. Kimball Madsen comes away with it though. 37 seconds left in the third period. Schofield a deep 2 from the corner, good. 45-39, Mountain View in control, and still no sign of Andrew Housekeeper. I think he's hanging out at the very end of the bench. Carter Smith for 3, missed it. Rebounded by Blue Mel, running 17 seconds. Braden Walk out to the corner. Catch and shoot, Hunter Meeks for 3, long. Bradshaw has the board. Gives it off to Jet Dickerson. Dickerson attacks, 5 seconds. Hit hard by Meeks. Bradshaw to 3, no good, it's short. 45-39. At the end of the third period, Mountain View takes control. And a chippy game. A fourth quarter will be a great one. Tensions running a little bit high between these two teams. 8 minutes to play. The Big Country Properties fourth period when we return on a First Bank presentation of Mountain View and Lyman basketball on MyLocalRadio.com.
An infected tooth can cause discomfort and serious harm to your health. At Wyoming Dental Specialties, endodontist Dr. Leslie Walker understands the complexities removing infected tissues from inside the tooth, which is one reason why you can trust him to provide endodontic treatment and root canal therapy. With a skilled staff and state-of-the-art technology in our office, we help save your smile and improve your overall dental health. Call today to schedule your appointment. 307-789-5608.
No matter what you need to have printed, Westar Printing is the place you want to have it done. Calendars, letterhead, envelopes, brochures, books, posters, vinyl banners, business forms, announcements, wedding invitations, and business cards are just a few examples. You can also have your favorite family photos printed on canvas or placed into a personalized family photo calendar. You will want to do business with Westar Printing. Stop in today. Westar Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston.
45-39, quarter number 4, brought to you by Big Country Properties. Scoreboard brought to you by Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware. Smith with a 3-ball, misses for Lyman. Bradshaw on the rebound, rips it out, throws it off the foot of Blumel. Kickball violation. So Lyman trails by 6 points. Andrew Housekeeper is not back out there. That was Jesse Fannis I saw the hair on. I think he's back getting evaluated.
I would say
probably
so.
for a concussion back there. He got hit in the head hard taking that charge.
It's one thing to be out for this game, but if it is a concussion.
Steal away, Kimball Madsen took it out of the hands of Braxton Bradshaw. Tried to dunk, I think, missed it. Blumel on the putback and a timeout out of the gates. Taken by Kevin Lewick. We'll keep it right here. We just got back. So you mentioned that. If he has to miss multiple games, it's a good thing this is Lyman's only game of the week. They don't have to play again until next week. But you just never know.
No, you don't.
This was a full timeout taken. 7:34 left in the Big Country Properties fourth period, so we just started 26 seconds in. Visit BigCountryProperties.com or give them a call at 782-3356, where broker Bobby Dalzall is part of the #1 listing and selling agency in the Bridger Valley. Properties to buy or sell in both Uinta and Lincoln County. And as Kate always says, new year, new home.
Yeah, it's Love Day. Treat your wife to a brand new home.
A Valentine's Day gift of a new house.
Yeah, you know, like Christmas, you know, when they get a new car, it's an unrealistic gift. So why not Valentine's Day, a new house?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, give broker Bobby Dalzall a call and tell him Kate sent you.
You should. You should.
That's why I said, you scare me. Back out of that full timeout. 47-39. Lyman basketball. Carter Smith inbounds to Jet Dickerson, joined on the court by Preston Brewer, Braxton Bradshaw, and Alex Bradshaw, still scoreless in the game. Came in averaging about 24 points per game in the last 5. Bradshaw has it on the right wing, that being Braxton. Hesitates, gives it back to Alex. Braden Walk's been guarding him tightly. Takes it around, now gives it back. Free throw line shot up and in by Preston Brewer. Second field goal of the quarter. That's 7 in the game. 6-point lead still for Mountain View. Toss up high, Kimball goes up, grabs it. Deep 3 at the wing, Braden Walk misses long. Madsen on the board though. He'll back up at the left corner. Think about a 3, down low to Blumel. Him against Bradshaw. Free throw line. Brigham Blumel meet once more. This is where Brigham's been hanging out a lot of this game, it seems like. He's been really, I see now, it's only his 3rd trip somehow. No, that's not, 4th trip. I attributed 2 more points. My scoring, I've been looking too much at the court, not enough at the board. This has been a crazy, crazy quarter. Misses his first. Blumel's really stepped up in today's game, down low, and not just in second chance points. He's been rebounding tough. He averages 8 per game. He's been creating offense in the low post today.
Oh, yeah.
Second free throw, good. He's got a special spot in this Mountain View Lyman rivalry is when this game's over. He has to head back to Lyman where he lives.
I know. It's got to be awkward.
His brothers played in this rivalry for Lyman. But like we mentioned, Andrew Housekeeper, his brothers played in this rivalry for Mountain View, so it's certainly not a single case situation. Preston Brewer drives through. He got held by Blumel, nothing called. Missed his shot. Oh, Schofield goes over the back to reject McCoy Smith. Lands on him. Ball stays with Mountain View after the miss. Fans are getting up to their feet. 3-ball up for Schofield, misses long. And they're impeding my ability to see this game. And if the tensions are running this high with 6 minutes, what's it going to be like with 2 minutes? Jesse Fannis on the left wing, 48-41. Deep three taken by Jet Dickerson.
I
Missed
think
it.
that was the wrong call to make.
That was a deep, deep, deep three. Foul off the ball against Lyman. That puts them back to the free throw line. That's foul number 8. And who else but Brigham Blumel?
No one.
Number 10 has been stupendous for Mountain View. And as we were talking about Preston Brewer with his acrobatic plays, being the leader in the clubhouse for the McKay Franklin precision play of the game for Lyman, I think you got to look at number 10 for Mountain View in his low post play today.
I would say so.
Free throw shot, missed. Rebound, Preston Brewer. Jet Dickerson taking over point duties with Andrew Housekeeper out of the game. Brewer hands off on the right wing to Dickerson. Looks down low, then up top. Bradshaw drives in. Branson tied on him. Three-pointer faked. Give off to Bradshaw instead. 5.5 minutes to go in the Big Country Properties fourth period. Jesse Fanis with the basketball. Working it around, trying to find any opening. No dice so far. Dickerson fakes a three. Drives in, jump stop. Oh, big walk. Can't double jump. Wait, a foul before that. A foul before that on Hunter Meeks.
Is it on Hunter?
A foul on Hunter Meeks. Dickerson yelling out instructions. Three ball tried by McCoy, missed. Fanis on the board. Fake three ball by Dickerson. He'll give out right side. Long two. Airballed by Brewer. Blumel with the board. Pushing the tempo. Braden Walk up ahead. And the reason for all this yelling that's been going on, tensions are high, yes, but this gym is absolutely loud. You can't hear a thing in here. We've got our earmuffs on and the microphone's going. It's the only way I can hear you. Luke Branson back to Kimball Matson. Down low, Blumel, the and one coming up one more time.
That was either on Bradshaw or Dickerson's. I'm not sure which one.
Foul number 3 on Jet Dickerson. 4:48 left in this game. Big Country Properties fourth period. Add 2 more for Blumel, misses the and one. And the rebound knocked out of Preston Brewer's hands by Kimball Matson. 4:47 left in the fourth period. And now the question becomes, can Alex get a shot in today? I think his confidence is a little bit down after some of those makes, and he's been swarmed defensively. And look, Luke Branson just hanging right with him. 4:34 left. Swing out right side. McCoy Smith to the top of the key, to the left wing. Out to the corner, Jet Dickerson with it. Then to Brewer on the wing. He drives in against the double team. Misses the layup. Couldn't quite get the angle there. Hunter Meeks gets the board. Brewer drives in. Forces a jump ball. Possession goes with Mountain View, though.
I liked what Brewer did there. Everyone's been taking threes, and it's just not falling right now. Try to drive in. I get that they're in a zone, but you got to try something a little bit closer.
This is a long-standing rivalry game. In the last 10, 12 years, something like that. It's been Lyman 19-8 in the series. Mountain View's held the advantage in the last couple of years, though. Won 2 of 3 last year. Down low, Blumel misses. Didn't get a foul there either. Jet Dickerson up ahead to McCoy Smith. Halfway through the fourth period, brought to you by Big Country Properties. A 9-point lead for Mountain View. Lyman took the girls' game. Mountain View trying to split it on the boys' side. Dickerson at the top of the key to the right side. Andrew Housekeeper had 12 first half points, has not played since taking a charge and hitting his head late in that third quarter. McCoy Smith to the top of the key, swing around to the right side. It's Jesse Fanis with it. He'll give it to Bradshaw. Driving against Walk as the ball poked out. Jet Dickerson picks it up, throws it out to McCoy, fakes a three. Giving up a few inches to say the least against his defenders there. Dickerson fires for a three, misses off to the right. 3:17 left. Kimball Matson up ahead. Luke Branson. Now play whistle, dead timeout taken as Branson was driving in. Coach Reese calls a 30-second. We'll take one as well. 50-41 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board on this First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley basketball on MyLocalRadio.com.
Buying or selling is a simple process if you're working with the right real estate agent. This is Bobby Dalzall, broker with Big Country Properties. We have agents serving both Lincoln and Uintah counties that can assist you with all of your real estate needs. We are the top listing and selling brokerage in the Bridger Valley and strive to be honest, hardworking, and thorough. Whether buying or selling, we make it happen. Call us today at Big Country Properties, 307-782-3556.
Out of the 30-second timeout, back here 50-41. Kate, run us through the turnovers. Mountain View's tightened up ship in the second half.
They have. They've only gotten 2 so far. That puts them up to 13, whereas Lyman has gotten 11. That's made 6 more.
6 in the half, yeah. Mountain View basketball, 3:10 left in the game. Big Country Properties bringing you fourth quarter action, and the old delay. Get the 5-second clock. Force the 5-second clock for Mountain View. 9-point game, that means 3 possessions, and Mountain View has the benefit of their top scorer on the other side. I should say Lyman is at the disadvantage. Their top scorer is out, and in this case, one of their top rebounders as well, as Brigham Blue Mel skies up and gets the board. Steal away, McCoy Smith against Hunter Meeks. Meeks with the rejection. Mountain View ball. Walk will slow the tempo. Bradshaw on him. Crossover to the left, gets a screen from Madsen. 2:30 left in the game, 50-41. Mountain View can seize control of the conference here. Blue Mel down low, assisted by Meeks, and the whistle. Brigham Blue Mel has, look at this score sheet in the second half. I'm out of room. He had 5 points at the half. I've got him 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, I think, in the second half. I'd put him at 20 in the game. And to make it 21, he does. 53-41 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board. 2:24 left, 12-point game. Mountain View on their home court, trailed by 3 points at the half. Tightened up, turned over the ball just twice, shot well, and forced Lyman into bad situations as well. And now lead by 12. Rebound for Brigham Blue Mel, gives it back to the Buffs. Braden Walk throws it across to Branson. He races with it. Finger roll, good. 55-41. 6 points for Luke Branson. Timeout taken by Lyman. We'll take it with him. 1:55 left and a 14-point lead for Mountain View on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware board over Lyman on this First Bank presentation of Lyman and Mountain View ball on MyLocalRadio.com.
Sometimes getting the whole family scheduled for a dental appointment is hard. Different days, different times, and then how do you pay for it all? These problems have been solved by Black's Fork Dental in Mountain View because we serve patients of all ages. It's easy to schedule the whole family on the same day, so you just make one trip. We accept most insurances, and if you don't have insurance, we offer an in-house discount so the whole family can have a healthy smile. Don't wait. Call today. Black's Fork Dental in Mountain View, 307-782-3630.
We know that when you think of Plains Tire in Evanston, you always think
the Tire Professionals.
Quality customer service. They're friendly with great prices.
I really like Plains Tire in Evanston.
But did you also know that the team at Plains Tire offers oil changes, windshield wiper checks, and free alignment checks? That's right, free alignment checks. We don't want you to quit thinking all those great things when you hear Plains Tire. We just want you to add to the list. Plains Tire, the tire professionals. Stop in today, 157 Bear River Drive.
Out of the timeout break, Lyman basketball 3-ball aired out by Jet Dickerson. 14-point game. Mountain View is taking control in the last 90 seconds. Should close out a victory to put Mountain View at 3-0 in the conference. And then that means Big Piney, Pinedale, Lyman one more time. They are in the driver's seat to be the #1 seed in the Southwest Conference, to be a #1 seed at that regional tournament on the opposite side of probably Warland as well. Fancy move by Kimball Madsen with the Euro step.
That was fancy.
Put him at 11 points in the game. 1:14 left. Alex Bradshaw with the wing three. Still unable to find it. And it appears ever more likely he'll finish the game scoreless.
It looks like it.
Averaging 24 points per game coming into this one in the last 5 games. Madsen spins around against Smith. Out to the left side. Meeks tries a long two. Short. Bradshaw on the board. Fouled from behind by Hunter Meeks. Team foul number 4, Mountain View. I think they had 7 fouls in the first half. And this is their 4th.
Something
the
like
second half. They did not foul today. Now, I think there was a lot of fouls that could have gone towards both teams that were not put up today. It's a very, very, very loosely called game. As I think you probably, they're thinking as long as it's in control within the sidelines, no one's getting taking it personally, we can let this rivalry game play more like a state game. McCoy Smith for a 3, no good. Rebounded by Branson. 57-41. Walk, no looker to Blumel. Up, he's back to the line. 2 shots coming up for Brigham Blumel. You mentioned 43% is what Lyman shot from the field in the first half. And in the game now, it's gone all the way down to 29%. That field goal percentage has plummeted for Lyman today.
Alex Bradshaw went down to the ground, and he doesn't look like he's doing okay.
Well, he got hit by Ashton Schofield's foot on his way down on the back.
Oh, okay.
Right in like the right lung area.
I was thinking, hoping it wasn't his ribs.
No, it was. It was in that rib cage.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's not broken.
I hope not as well. I don't want anyone injured. We already got one player injured in this game. First free throw, was that made?
Yes, it was.
All right. At times today, everything going on's made me feel like we're the 2 old men at the Muppet Show.
This has been a crazy
game. Up in the peanut
game.
gallery. 2 for 2 trip by Brigham Blumel. 59-41, 30 seconds to go. Bradshaw does stay into the game. Carter Smith outside. Alex, shot up, missed it long. Knocked out of bounds, and it's Lyman basketball. 21 seconds to go in this contest. Well, I wondered if the spotlight might be a little too bright today for a sophomore with so much riding on it. And he was guarded tightly, and then at some point I think confidence started to go as it does. You miss your first 4. And Alex Bradshaw scoreless in that game. Andrew Housekeeper, we got to keep it track. Oh, is that your 3 ball by Preston? No. Hunter Gross into the game. He gets a round of applause. Colton Reutz in as well. Caden Sweep into the game. We got to find out when we can about how Andrew Housekeeper's doing. He missed a few games last year, and Lyman was not the team that they are this year. They were not a team competing for a state bid. They are this year, but it's going to be tough. We mentioned it. At the top, you've got Warland, Lander. They're probably in. And then on the west side, only 2 more get in. Mountain View, Big Piney, and Lyman. And Lyman is now, after today's game, against those teams, Mountain View and Lyman, 0-3.
Yeah.
And if you extend it out to Lander, 0-4. They've been in all those games. This one ends up being a bit of a runaway. 2 points on the board for Reutz. 61-41. 3 ball good by Dickerson with 5 seconds to go. That's just window dressing at this point. 61-44. The final on the Benedict's Market. And Ace Hardware board, Mountain View goes to 3-0 in the conference season. We'll take a break. 17-point lead. A win for Mountain View over Lyman. Come back with post-game coverage. Hand out to Dr. McKay Franken Precision Plays of the game next on MyLocalRadio.com.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come On In Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come On In Hotel and Suites, Casper.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
You're in good hands when you choose Dr. Stosage and Dr. Buick at Wyoming Dental Specialties for dental implants and wisdom tooth extractions. They work with passion and focus. They use techniques and technologies that are modern and precise. With 2 decades of experience, their skills are highly specialized. If you need teeth extractions or dental implants placed, come see Dr. Stosage or Dr. Buick at Wyoming Dental Specialties, 50 Park Road, or call us at 307-789-9034.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Get a look at the gym starting to empty out here. 61-44 on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware scoreboard. Mountain View comes away with the victory, and I'm adding up some Lyman scores right now. But for Mountain View, I have them. And tell me if I've got anything wrong here. I've got Brigham Blue Mel with 23 points in the game, 11 by Kimball Matson, 9 by Braden Walk, 7 from Ashton Schofield. Luke Branson finishes with 6, 3 by Hunter Meeks, and 2 by Colton Reutz. That's my totals for that. We all good on that front?
I would say so, yes.
Lyman side, 14 points from Andrew Housekeeper, has to leave with a head injury in the 3rd period. 14 as well from Jet Dickerson. He went 4 of 11 from 3 today. And 5 points from Carter Smith. Alex Bradshaw finishes the game with the goose egg. No points today. And 17-point loss. Mountain View knew who to zone in on today.
Yeah.
Because that's at least what he can get. And they shut him down and changed the outlook of this game. Preston Brewer, the other starter for Lyman, he finished with, got him with 7 points in the game. And then Braxton Bradshaw had no points. I had a big mix up there at the halftime. McCoy Smith finishes with 4. Is that everyone? We got everything there?
I believe so.
All right, 44 points for Lyman, 61 for Mountain View. Let's take, let's keep it right here for the moment and hand out Dr. McKay Franklin Precision Plays of the game. On Mountain View side, I wanted to go with Brigham Blue Mel for his low post play today. I thought he stepped up in a game where, again, Braden walked in, have the 17 points per game that he's averaging. Kimball Matson had a fine game as well, though, too.
Yes, he did.
What was his shooting from 3-point?
His shooting percentage, 33%.
Okay, so 3 of 9, is that right? 3 of 9 from there?
9.
Blue Mel, he went to work down in the blocks today and converted at a high clip.
I'm sorry, I looked at Braden Walk. He was 33%. Kimball Masson was 75%.
That sounds right. I was going to say he went 3 of 4, right?
Yes.
He made almost everything he shot from out there. That's going to be my Dr. McKay Franklin precision play of the game with Brigham Blue Mel down in the blocks. Precise work and powerful work to get the advantage. On Lyman's side, I'm going back to what I saw with Preston Brewer early on, those sideline plays early on when the game, before the game got out of hand, and actually when the game was starting to get out of hand, he kind of roped it back in and kept Lyman in. And also, you can't discount Andrew Housekeeper's final play of the half.
No.
Give that an honorary mention as well, that getting fouled on the 3-point line and giving Lyman a 3-point lead, 27-24 at the half in that contest. Any thoughts for you on those?
I liked what you said about Andrew. Credit to him, he made his free throws. It's one thing for a player to go to the line, but he made them.
That's true.
He was, he went to the line. He had 5 shots today. He made 4 of them, so he was 80% from the day.
We'll take a break now, come back with look ahead to next week. No broadcast tomorrow, no Manila game as we initially had on the streaming schedule with the readjustment of all that. But we have a Wednesday game coming up for you. So we'll talk about that when we return on a First Bank presentation of Lyman and Mountain View basketball on mylocalradio.com.
Hello, this This is Dr. McKay Franklin. Something I've really enjoyed as a dentist over the past 20 years.
Whatever you need, it's likely that Bradshaw's and Lyman can help. Whether it's windows at home or new glass in your car, truck, SUV, or semi, Bradshaw's has it. Tires? Yes. All vehicles, ATVs, semis, and more. Bradshaw's offers a 24-hour towing service for everything large to small. And the Bradshaw Fitness Center is open 24/7. There's more, so always call Bradshaw's first. Whatever you need, it's likely they can help. 307-787-3450. Again, that's 307-787-3450.
Hi, this is Chase Sawyer with Sawyer Disaster Cleanup and Construction. Our company has helped thousands of people put their homes, businesses, and lives back together after a fire, flood, storm, or other disastrous event. We work with all insurance companies, and we work for you by being professional, fair, and honest. Our certified technicians are trained in every aspect of restoration, so we can complete each project in a fast and satisfactory way. Call us today, 307-741-7000. Sawyer Disaster Cleanup and Construction.
I think we're going to call an audible here on next week's broadcast, as I was mentioned. No broadcast tomorrow, no Manila games. Those were taken away and then rescheduled and all that. But we do have Kemmer basketball next Wednesday. That's Mountain View versus Kemmer right here back at the Cedar Top Dome. And that'll be 5:30 and 7, rescheduled from last week. It was canceled on Friday as I was heading out to Mountain View. I got word that the game was no more. So we'll be back this coming Wednesday with that broadcast. And after that, we may have a flip-flop. That's what I'm saying. We may be calling an audible because Big Piney and Pinedale are next week. We jump back into conference play. We covered Pinedale the first time around. The girls' side of Pinedale, that's the better team out of those two in the records. Big Piney we have not seen this year. We've not been able to cover those games. I think we're going to do a flip-flop of that and cover, I guess that would make if we were looking at, I think it was Mountain View playing Pinedale on Friday. Anyways, I think we will make a reversal of that, so I'm going to update our streaming schedule, post it back on mylocalradio.com and on the We Are MV page, and see if we can get it shared onto the Lyman High School page as well. I think we're going to change those up as we want to see now down the stretch. Mountain View at 3-0, Big Piney at 2-1 next week, Lyman at 1-2 in the third spot.
Yeah.
Those games are must wins as opposed to the Pinedale games where they're sitting at winless on the season. We said we may make changes as we flex games in. You update those schedules now. Mountain View at 3-0, a win against Big Piney just about assures them a #1 seed. Lyman, if they want to have any chance of a top 2, that win next week against Big Piney on the boys' side, a must have.
Yes.
Great games, though. 17-point final in this contest is not indicative of how great these games were. We had a ton of fun bringing them to you. 61-44, the final on the boys. 53-41, the final on the girls. Mountain View's boys come away victorious by 17 points, and Lyman's girls get their 3-0 start to the conference season. Mountain View's girls fall to 2-1, 53-41. The finals on the Benedict's Market and Ace Hardware scoreboard. I don't know if I said True Value today. They've been making that change. Appreciated the switch over. We got all that straightened out, but man, it was a tough switch to make in the middle of a game. So with a week behind me, I said, give me a week or two, or maybe a whole season, the rest of the season. But I love Benedict's Market. It's a beautiful, it was just bantering the postgame. It's a beautiful grocery store.
I've never been in, but I've heard great things.
And they've got great lunch deals. That's just a side note to our scoreboard sponsor. Love Benedict's Market, and then cool that they're getting the Ace Hardware standalone store as well. That'll do it for me and Kate. Thanks so much. Happy Valentine's Day to you, Kate, and to everyone out there listening. This has been the Bridger Valley Battle. We'll be back next Wednesday.
The proceeding has been a wholly owned production of Cook Brothers Broadcasting and Old West Media, no portion of which may be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the aforementioned rights holder. Tonight's executive producer is Val Cook. We appreciate you tuning in to this MyLocalRadio.com exclusive. We would like to take a moment to thank all of our sponsors and partners who make this all possible. And, of course, thank you for tuning in. Check out our website for more information about future Bridger Valley broadcasts or like us on Facebook to stay up to date with the games. Until next time, go Eagles and go Buffs!